Insiders, and man, are we excited to be here today.
It's a party, baby!
Happy Sunday, everybody. It is another week of wrestling has gone by. We are here to tie it all up in a little bow and ship it off, not using UPS because it never gets where it's supposed to. But yes, we are here to wrap everything up for you with our Between the Ropes with the Insiders show. So the whole new title, a whole new eventually it'll be a whole new look when Jeff is very, very busy. But eventually we will get new stuff, new logos, all that kind of business. We will have a whole new look to this show. So thank you all for coming out. I know there's wrestling going on. I know some people are probably watching NWA tonight. So enjoy if you are. Obviously that's 2 nights. It was last night and tonight as well. So enjoy the wrestling if you're watching it. We obviously do have a big week. As we always do, Jeff, when we come here, there usually isn't a light week in wrestling anymore.
No, never, never. I mean, there's no, oh man, the slow news week this week.
Yes.
Never. So, yeah, but it makes these, doing these shows fun.
It does. Yeah. I mean, normally you'd figure you're doing a show at the end of a week that stuff gets to be old and people will have, you've already heard about it. But look, every one of us can't watch everything except maybe James. But so you're going to miss some things. And I see some people in the chat were talking about it too. I missed a little more than usual because I stayed away from the dirt sheets. And I will get to my experience and my grievance because that's part of that. But yes, I hope that you were able to do that. I hope that you had as good of an effect with it as I did. But I do. But my grievances. I was spoiled in a very, very, very bad way, and I will talk about it when I get there. Jeff, of course, has a big grievance today as well. His, I know, a lot of you were looking forward to because he didn't get to it last week. But Jeff is going to talk a little bit today about trolls and a little bit about people that make up fake accounts, and so you're going to want to stick around for that. And now I don't know how Jody's feeling. She was in the hospital today. Obviously, we wish her well. She did have something as well on our show today, so I'm not sure. We'll see when we get there whether or not she'll be here. I honestly don't know. All right. All that said, so let's get to Jeff. You know what? Tell the guys first off. Jeff was at an independent show.
Yeah.
And got to meet some very, very cool people. So Jeff, go ahead. I'll let them know where you were.
Yeah, so there was a New York pro wrestling show here in the town that I live in, and less than 5 minutes away. And I heard about it from a former coworker, my friend Maddie, and she told me about it and was like, yeah, this will be cool. Well, I get my tickets the day of, being last minute, get my tickets the day of. And before I get there, Maddie texts me, Booker T is here.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, wait, what? Booker T? Like the Booker T? She's like, Booker T is here. And I'm like, wow. So I knew that Virgil would be there. I knew that Bushwhacker Luke would be there. Cody Hall, Scott Hall's son, was there. So that was, it was a cool experience, but being able to meet Booker T was the highlight of the night for me. That he was so cool.
I bet.
So nice. And it was really cool to be able to meet him. Virgil is like one of the funniest human beings I've ever talked to, ever. I mean, this man was so hilarious. And so it was funny. And so I made a lot of good connections, a lot of people that we're going to be bringing on the show at some point in the future. One of those people being Christina Marie, who has been on AEW quite a bit. So she'll be on the show. I don't want to spoil anything else just yet, but she's definitely one that will be on the show. And also the promoter, the head promoter of New York Pro Wrestling. So
that's awesome.
It's pretty cool experience.
That's awesome. That's why, if you guys ever get a chance, if an indie promotion comes near you, you just never know who's going to show up at things like that. And the tickets are usually pretty reasonable to go. They're not super expensive or anything. So if you ever see that,
$15 for me.
Yeah. Like, how can you beat that? And then you get to meet all these people that you never thought you'd. I mean, that people will show up there. A lot of times they're there for other reasons. They're there for talent scouting. They're there. You just don't know who may show up. So if you get a chance, support the indies because listen, that's where a lot of these guys that you are seeing in the ring today, whether it be WWE, AEW, wherever, have started their careers. And, like Jeff talks about, they start in front of crowds that are maybe, 20, 30, 40, sometimes, 50, 60 people in small places and stuff. So, if you ever get a chance, go out and support these people because they really can use it. And a lot of them have they have merch. Some of them have their own T-shirts on Wrestling Tees or wherever. But get out and support them because you might find that you really enjoyed yourself and you might meet some people that, hey, maybe they'll be in an AEW or a WWE or an Impact ring one day, which would be very cool. Very cool. Awesome. All right. So let's welcome some people in and then we will get to it. So before we do, Please, if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, but we'd really appreciate that. Also, make sure you hit the like button on our stream tonight. Please do. I know a lot of times we get a lot more people in or listening after the fact, and then we don't get a lot of likes or as many as we could have. So please make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure that you hit the notifications button if you'd like to be notified about when we have future content. Now, the future content this week, if everything's cool with Jody, you'll be Abby's Window tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time with Jeff and Jody. Following that, we've got Impact Wrestling on Thursday at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, no after the Impact unless it's a pay-per-view, so this week is not. So it will be just a review of the show afterwards, which we started doing last week. So we go a little later than normal and review the show. And then this Saturday is Clash at the Castle. So that will be Jeff and more than likely Tazzy and Jody, I'm guessing, for that one. But we will be having it on our channel. I will miss it, which sucks. I'm really upset about that, but nothing I could do. It was a work schedule thing, and dummy me didn't think that it was going to be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, oh, I'm good. It's 7, 8 o'clock like normal. Yeah, no. It'll be long over by then. So I will miss it, but Jeff and Jody and Tazzy should be here for you for the watch along. So make sure you join us for that. Are you going to have predictions, Jeff? Like, are you going to do them prior to the show?
Yeah, we'll start a little bit early to do predictions. So
okay, so we'll get you the time for Clash at the Castle. That's going to be big, and so you're not going to want to miss that. And make sure you come out and check it out, because if anything does happen that's crazy, that will be the time that everybody will get to react to it, and poor Joe will be sitting at work crying. So
you know what, Joe, that deserves.
Yeah, you're really gonna see sad face Joe if Bray comes back. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I literally may cry on my way home. I may. I might. So because yes, that would just be devastating. But we'll see. Either way, it's going to be a good show, so don't miss it. And then, of course, Sunday, we'll be back here, which will give us a lot of opportunity to wrap up what happened. If there is anything big or big news, we'll cover it all here next week. So we have James Grant. We have James Chadwick. We have, I know James is watching NWA. We have Derek. What's up, Derek? No cheats of dirt the last few days. Good. We have Jason Peaks. We have Big Boy Dally. Hey. We have Shane Loki. What's up? We have Dylan. We have Alicia. Hello, Alicia. We have Sean Rousset. We've got Dana. We've got hope it comes with a whole new attitude with zero bleep given. We've got the Coog. We got Vincenzo. Hello to you. We've got Bonus Baby who's watching NWA. Enjoy. We've got Seven Fiend. We've got Nathan. We've got Jason Peaks. We've got Mark. We've got Bonus Baby talking to us about NWA. Cool. We've got what did I miss? We got Randy Sam. We got Deanna as well. I'm the ghost of me. Deanna's the ghost of Deanna. It's not really Deanna.
It's really
the
her.
Ghost of Deanna. Doing your fantasy draft. Yeah, mine's next week. Well, yeah, I think it's next Saturday.
I gotta find me a league to get in this year.
You should have told me we had an opening in ours. In fact, we had to have some guy put 2 stupid teams in it. You know what? I'll see if he may not want to do that. I think he only did that to give us another team. So I'll find out for you. And then I'll let you know. We might have it.
Yeah. It's been a few years since I've played. So last time I played, I won the league. So I went out on top. So I've
won a few. Last year, I forgot when our stupid draft was, and of course, it auto drafted for me like the first 5 rounds until I figured it out. So I got crap, and I literally started the season 0-5, and I'm like, yeah, I'm dead. And then I won my next 6 games. So I ended up making the playoffs, and it was all because of the waiver wire. I literally was just because when you're the last place team, you get your choice. You get to pretty much pick whoever you want to on the waiver wire. So I was literally assembling a team piecemeal, and I ended up winning 6 straight games. And I did win. I ended up getting the consolation game, and I won that. So I won 7 straight games.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really weird, but yeah, I enjoy it. It's fun. Barry Monkey, hello to you from Twitch. Hello, Chris, as well. Maybe Paige will be at Clash. Maybe. Nobody's really saying her name. Could be. You never know. Okay. What else? I think that should be it. That should be it. All right. Well, it's time for some breaking news. Let's get into the news.
Let's get into the news.
The news. Well, the news. There was some news today, actually, about the AEW video game. Apparently, it's getting really, really good reviews at a major game con. It won game of the best sports game and show, and it's a major game con. But apparently FTR were left off the roster. So everyone, of course, started speculating. When you get left off of a video game roster, it's not usually good. It kind of like what they did with Wyndham. Usually, a lot of times means that you're not going to be in there anymore. However, when you read the article a little bit down further, and this is why I tell you about dirt sheets, because you really have to go and read behind the scenes sometimes. When you read it down a little bit further, they knew they were being left off because there was some kind of thing where they're going to be added. It just was an incident where they couldn't fit them on the initial roster. And of course, people are saying, "Oh, they must not be happy about that." I don't know. I mean, we really don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but that just came out today. What else? What else is recent? Trying to think if anything else came out in the last day or so. The previews of the game look good. It looks retro, which I'm fine with. I loved retro wrestling games, so I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm okay. Listen, if it plays good, I'm down. I was never really a big player of wrestling games. I played a lot of them in the past. The one that was on the GameCube, I remember I really loved. The NWO versus the WCW versus NWO ones were really good.
Out.
The Sold Out, yes.
Yeah, that was good.
They were my favorites. The customization with those was really good. You can because I know the one guy I used to play, he used to make himself as a wrestler all the time, and the customization was really involved for an older game. But they were a lot of fun. I'll even go back to my original Nintendo when I played the NES Pro Wrestling. I love that. Yes. That's the one with Starman.
Starman, that's right. Right.
Starman. They all looked like someone. There was a guy in there that looked like Ric Flair because he had the long blonde hair, and there was a guy that looked like Hogan because he was all tan. And then there was another guy. There was the weirdest one was the dude who looked like the creature from the Black Lagoon, and he'd bite your head.
Yeah,
he'd bite your head. Maybe that's where Rosemary got the bite your face off from, because that's what he did. He literally would chomp on the other wrestler's face.
Yeah.
If you've never played that, it's fun. It's hard. It was very hard to get. Now, if you have a Switch, it's on their monthly games thing. So if you get the old NES games, if you pay their monthly subscription fee, you get access to all old NES games. It was literally one of the first or second games that was on there, which I was thrilled because I hadn't played it in years. But yeah, I love that game, man. Do you have any favorite games you liked?
Oh man, well, Coog named a couple of them: Tecmo Bowl, and Mike Tyson Punch Out.
My wife is so good at Punch Out, and I suck.
Really?
It makes me really mad, really, really angry. I am terrible at it. She's so good. She got to Mike Tyson and beat him, and I could never. I'm lucky if I get past Ball Bull. I was very bad at it, and she rubs it in all the time.
But in terms of wrestling, man, the WCW game was pretty good back in the day.
They were.
The Raw versus SmackDown, the one that had Raw versus SmackDown on the cover of 2K or whatever it was.
Yes.
For WWE, that one was really good.
Yep.
And I'm kind of digging this new 2K22. I'm kind of digging it. Yeah. I think it's pretty good.
I actually enjoyed the last one because, and I had no glitches in mine. I know there is a ton of glitches in that. I had none in mine, so I kind of lucked out. I actually kind of liked it because I was able to play with Bray, and I was able to do that whole swamp challenge thingy that you had to do in order to unlock him. So and then I was able to play with the Fiend. So I enjoyed that one. And then the Undertaker stuff and everything. But this one's good too. I like what I've been playing a lot on this one is the mode where you play like as the what is it, the CEO or the commissioner of the league, and you can make your own pay-per-views and all that kind of stuff and see how they do against I kind of dig that. Like general manager GM mode I think it's called. But yeah, I was the WrestleMania arcade game. That was fantastic. Yeah, I pumped a lot of quarters into that. A lot of quarters. I can't remember. I think I used to play Demolition a lot on that. I was always tempted to play Hogan, but for some reason Hogan wasn't very good, which is weird because he was one of the best. Either that or maybe just me. Maybe I wasn't very good, which could have been too. But I pumped a bunch of quarters into that for sure. Hey, Jesse Callan is here. Let me see if anybody else popped in while we're yapping. Jason's Theme Park Vlogs is here. Hello. There's Big Dan. Hey, Big Dan. How are you? We're just reminiscing like the Yacht Rock songs goes. Did you like the TNA Cross the Line game? Oh, I never played it. I didn't know there was a game.
Yeah, they had a game. Yep.
Damn, what system was it for?
God, was it for the PS2?
Yeah, it sounds like it might have been.
I think it might have been PS2.
PS2. No, I never played it.
Yeah.
Damn. Wow, I had no idea. That's cool though. The new Madden sucks. Says Derek. I played a little of it. I got it last week and I played through. You know what? What really pisses me off about Madden is if you put like I put it up to the highest level because I've been playing Madden since it first came out on the PC years and years and years ago. And I fancy myself as being a pretty good player. So I cranked the difficulty all the way up, but I hate it because the computer just like it'll intercept you in ungodly places. You can put the ball pinpoint accurate to a wide open receiver, and the next thing you know, the linebacker that's in the middle of the field will jump up like Superman and grab the ball 3 feet in the air. And I'm like, oh, I hate it. And somebody showed a video, Jeff, online where they took who's the quarterback for the Ravens?
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, they literally played with Lamar Jackson. And they ran him. It reminded me of Bo Jackson in that football game back in the day. They ran him across the field. He'd avoid all the linebackers. They'd run him back across and back across and back and across, and everybody would be falling down. And then they'd run him for a touchdown. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That was like that. That was the cheat for Bo Jackson and Tecmo Bowl back.
Yeah, in the day. And then somebody did it on this new game, and they were saying that the difficulty was all the way up, and they did this. I'm like, oh my god. That's ridiculous. Like if you have that, that's pretty bad. That's bad. Really pretty bad. So all right. Alexa Bliss Gamers here. Remember the first WWE game for the NES with power-ups appearing in the ring with guitars for the honky. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Anthony Slate is here. Hello, Anthony. And Chris Williams saying WCW Nitro versus NWO Revenge game. Derek's grievance is Madden. Okay. Let's get into the headlines, shall we?
All right. First one up. Johnny Wrestling returns to WWE. He returned on Raw.
Man, I've got to tell you, this impressed me. Impressed the hell out of me because this leads into the whole thing with the dirt sheets. You don't see this anymore. You just don't. The way that there was no, and I don't care who says they did, they're lying. Nobody came out and said, a lot of people speculated that he was going to resign, but nobody came out and said he's going to be on Raw tonight, so you can book it, blah, blah, blah. No one did. And now it's all coming out. They had him fly in on a private jet. He was wearing a hoodie the entire time. They hid him from everyone. No one knew until he got to the backstage area, and he got there right before he came out. So there wasn't even any time for any of the, like, if there are talent that report things to dirt sheets, and there could be, if there were any of the talent that was going to do that, they didn't even have the time to do it because he came out and went right out on stage like minutes before he went onto the stage. It was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. He looks great. He looks happy. The thing with Theory was absolutely perfect. They were obviously, they were in NXT together. They were teamed up together. And the fact that, Theory came out was kind of giving him a little shade and stuff. And then the super kick was just absolutely perfect. And Johnny stated his intention. And I love, Jeff, how he not only stated his intention, but he also didn't come out and just say the championship title, but he also mentioned the U.S. title, which was kind of cool. And he could have just come out, I'm going for that title. He of course he mentioned that, but he did say the U.S. title, which was pretty cool. That makes it all that much more important for that title as well. But fantastic to see it back. Fantastic that it was done. And look, what this is also good for is for the future, because now where you may have thought that they could not hide things from the dirt sheets, now you know that they can. So nothing, I don't think, is impossible. And for everyone who was thinking, there's no way they can hide, Wyndham. There's no way they can hide, people are talking about Paige. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. So it can be done. So now you just don't know. Now you really have to watch. But this was absolutely fantastic. Johnny Bates, thank you so much for the kind donation. Really appreciate that. And nice to see you. Been a while. I was legit stunned by Johnny's return, as well as ecstatic. I know that's James Chadwick said he's still in shock. Johnny Wrestling is back. Even Triple H making backstage feel like the old days. I'm just, Jeff, this was just what a cool thing. Shocked me when I saw it come back. Came back, you did, the only thing you did here was that there were going to be no ads. There were very limited ads during that last hour, but that could have been anything. And when it came back from that commercial, and then you saw the scoreboard, and I'm kind of looking at the corner of my eye. I'm not fully paying 100% attention, and all of a sudden you hear the crowd go nuts, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And then all of a sudden I had to pay attention. Wow, Jeff, what a moment!
Yeah, it was a cool moment. It was random. It was done because there was really no build up on the show.
Nope.
Either. So it just made it just a random, just a authentic moment for the wrestling fans and for, a real reaction. So I thought it was really cool. I love the fact that he said U.S. title.
Yeah.
Love the fact, because honestly, that's what a lot of people miss. They talk about the companies not putting enough emphasis on the mid-card titles. This is being done well. They're really highlighting the U.S. title right now. So and think about this. Think about the matchup in terms of mid-card titles that we have at Clash at the Castle. We're getting the IC title defended on a pay-per-view finally.
Yes.
So I'm just happy that he's back. I'm happy that he's going up against Theory, quite possibly, and we'll see what happens.
Could be a match as soon as Clash if they want it. So yeah, that's it's a great way to start it out. And yeah, man, great to see him back. Listen, I know it disappointed probably a lot of people too, because they were hoping he'd go somewhere else. But yep, not so fast. Look, Triple H is doing. He's bringing all his guys back. And now the rumors are out there. Could be bringing Bronson Reed, a.k.a. Jonah, back. He might be maybe one of the next ones. We're probably going to get a few more women coming back from NXT. It's probably not going to stop. And I think I did read today that someone was, I don't remember the exact names of the people who were speaking, but they were asking them about Triple H and whether or not the surprises are going to stop. And they said, no, why would they? So we're going to get a lot more of this. And, there's a lot of other people that are out there that are unsigned that he may want to bring back. So it's really awesome. This was the fact that they didn't so obvious the week before was in his hometown there was no indication given. And it came to, like, normally WWE is very predictable. If they're going to bring someone out, it's usually at the top of the hour, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. They're going to do something. They didn't. It was literally like 10 after 10. Mm-hmm. So it was a very weird time. It was after a commercial. And yeah, it was fantastic. It was literally one of the best returns because it was completely unexpected. And this is why I say, guys, you think of how you all felt when this happened and think of how you could feel that way all the time. Just keep that in mind. All right. What's next, Jeff?
All right. Next up. So WWE is not going TV 14 anytime soon.
Yeah, there was a kind of a retraction on this saying that, wait, not so fast. Apparently the news is that this was a Vince thing. And now that the new regime has taken over and Stephanie's set in place and Nick Khan is there, apparently they're not going to go back to TV 14 or don't have any interest in going back to TV 14. I'm okay with it either way. Yeah, I mean, everybody was kind of getting excited because, well, they can have blood, they can have, go back to a little bit darker content and stuff like that. But I don't know. People are talking about Bray and stuff too. You don't need that stuff with them. They can work without it. And like I said, I'm all right. And TV 14 is not needed at the moment, says Big Boy Down. I agree. I'm enjoying it without it. I don't think it's necessary. And listen, for as many people that want it, because there's a big fan group out there for the ruthless aggression days and stuff. But guys, look, it was a different time, and we're never going to go back to that. We're just not. There was some really cringy stuff that happened during that time that a lot of it happened to the women. And, when they talk about it now, it's not good. It's not flattering at all. And they don't want to remember it. So, and that's why you don't see, like Peacock doesn't have a lot of it shown. They cut a lot of it out. And that's what it is, like it or not. And everybody's going to have some different opinions. But we're not going to go back to that. It's just they've moved on and it is what it is. But I'm okay with this. Listen, keep giving me entertainment like we just talked about with the Johnny Gargano thing. Keep doing what you're doing every week on the shows, and I'm okay with what they have now, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm fine with what they have now. I think they're doing a fantastic job working within the parameters, but also going right up to the edge, right up to that point. Using some language, which is fine to drive home some promos. I think I think when a lot of people think of TV 14, they think of AEW's presentation.
Yeah.
I think that's what people want to see. They want to see, Drew McIntyre dropping the S-bomb and, being able to say BS and all that stuff.
Right.
If you like that kind of stuff, that's fine. But if the story is compelling enough, if they're doing a great job selling me with promos and in-ring work, I don't need the language. I'm perfectly fine where I am.
Yeah, and you know what, guys? Here's the thing. If you like things that are different, listen. If you like violence, come over to watch Impact and watch one of Sami Callihan's matches. James Chadwick will tell you. Anybody in our chat that watches Impact with us will tell you. If you enjoy that kind of thing and you like it all the time, watch GCW. They have it constantly. There's blood, guts, and gore. If that's the kind of thing you dig, and a lot of people do, then there's options for you out there. You're maybe just missing them. So that's out there. And speaking of blood and guts, I posted that picture of Drew McIntyre's back. Oh my God.
Yeah.
If you got to look at that, you know what? For those of you who didn't, I'll pull it up. I put it out on Twitter. This never, ever, ever come out and say that, yes, somebody even commented and said, oh, wrestling is fake. Look at this. Look at that. Look at his back. Look at the gouges in the corners of his shoulders. That is insane. That's from the chair shots he took from the. Listen, please don't ever say, people say that wrestling is scripted. It's not fake. It's scripted. But that doesn't mean that these guys don't take a beating. And that was a hell of a beating that Drew McIntyre took. So you don't need TV 14 to have this kind of stuff. I mean, it was brutal. You saw it. Yeah, Insane Championship Wrestling on IWTV. Listen, there's stuff out there for everybody. So if you dig this kind of thing or dig that kind of stuff, you can find it. There's places out there you can find it. So security guard in NXT called someone a prick twice. Drew cruised on his promo package. So and by the way, the response that Sheamus said to that photo was priceless. He responded, and actually this came from one of the people who, because I didn't see it, Cerberus on Twitter at Son of Typhon said Sheamus's reply was gold. As to what wasn't, he goes, as what did he say? And he said, "'Tis but the scratch," in reference to the Black Knight and Monty Python's Holy Grail. So that's brilliant. That's
only
brilliant.
A flesh wound.
It's only a flesh wound. That's awesome. So so no TV 14. I'm okay with it. All right, moving on.
We got a surprising result in AEW on Wednesday. Some people had some things to say about it.
This gets my first David Letterman moment. Yeah. Wow. I'm going to state my case on this, and especially after Rampage last night. So the buildup for this match was immense. Tony Khan himself was on Busted Open saying that this was going to be one of the greatest matches ever, all time. They were hyping this match to the moon. They really were everywhere. And what we got was a glorified 3-minute squash. And it was very wonky because people were saying, well, Punk was favoring the other leg, not the one that was hurt initially. And then they did, I listened to Bully Ray talk about it. Bully Ray shoots pretty straight on Busted Open, which is kind of why I like listening to him. He's not favoring one company or the other. He'll tell people when they're wrong. And he came out of it saying that there's really only one solution that could come out of this that would make it look credible. And that is if they wanted to change the opponent for Moxley, and that it was going to be a returning surprise MJF to come out and to fight Moxley for the title. And he said the fans would be thrilled with that. But he said, other than that, there's really not any way they can make this look good. And if they are indeed, because Punk was on last night on Rampage, if they are indeed going to have CM Punk come back and wrestle in Chicago again for the title, it looks really, really, really dumb, because he walked out of that arena like he couldn't walk. Now, he's going to be ready in 7 days, after Rampage to compete after he looked the way he did. I wouldn't go that way. And if that's what they're doing, I don't get it. Now, and when it came down to it, when I saw Punk's thing last night, it dawned on me that, and I'll tell you what I compared this to. I compared this to Hulk Hogan and Goldberg. That's what I compared it to. It was a match that should have been on a pay-per-view, that was on regular TV, and it was on regular TV to get ratings. Are you going to deny that was why this match was on regular TV? They certainly got ratings. 1.1 million, I believe. So, but what concerns me is, are you going to start doing this kind of stuff just to get ratings? And are their fans going to be happy with it? Because, are you thrilled with how this worked out? Hyping it up so high, and then this is what you get? I don't know. Wouldn't have made me that happy if I was a fan. If I was one of their regular fans, one of the regulars that watch a show week in, week out, I wouldn't have been too happy with it. It kind of almost looks like you're trying to put one over on me. And I don't know. Wrestling fans are a lot more intelligent today. And I don't know that I'd go down that road because we saw how it worked out before. So, yeah, I don't know, Jeff. I can't spin it any other way other than thinking that it was a ratings grab.
Yeah, I mean, I think the build definitely proved that point, that it was a ratings grab. I think it's interesting moving this match from All Out to a Dynamite episode.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I wanted to see what the reactions were from like the diehard AEW fans. I wanted to see what their reactions were on social media. And I was surprised that it was pretty split, which I was shocked about. I kind of expected them to kind of, try and turn it into, something favorable, more favorable than the backlash that people were giving. But, it was pretty split. They were pretty down the middle on it. So it was interesting, very interesting set of events in a match. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot that I could say. I'm kind of reserving judgment, but yeah, it was very interesting to say the least. I didn't see it coming, that's for sure.
No, I'm sitting there getting ready for like a half-hour long match because they've done that before, and I'm like, oh, this one's gonna take forever. And I'm sitting in like digging in, waiting for this long match, and when it ended, I'm like, what? Even some of our regulars in our show, like Derek and others who watch the show week after week after week, were shocked by it and weren't happy. So I kind of assumed that, like Jeff said, it was split down the middle. Some people saying, yeah, okay, but then other people were not happy with it. And I can imagine that they probably got that same reaction for a bunch of people. Jesse said she's going to be back in 15. You're good. Dana Jones, I'm happy he lost. Sean Suslitz, WWE was awesome in Springfield. Drew called out Roman to the crowd for him skipping live events and said, we deserve a champion who attends live shows off camera. Crazy stuff. Well, that's cool. Yeah, Sean was just at a taping for WWE. Very good. Big Boy Dally said, agree, because if they build it up, Tony's going to lie and say this will be the greatest ever and we get this. Yeah, like he was real. I listened to him on Busted Open. He's on Busted Open twice a week to hype up his shows. And he came on and he was saying, oh my gosh, this is a must-see, can't miss, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, and this is what they get? He had to have known. The only other explanation was did CM Punk really get hurt? And Bully Ray, when he saw it happen, said, I don't think so, because he said usually they'll, if he was working on that bad leg or bad foot, he'll turn back and you'll kind of see them like start to chat or jaw with each other, and he'll say, hey, I'm hurt. But he did not. And Bully was watching that whole part of it, and he said he didn't say anything to anybody, including the referee. So I don't think so. See Wrestling, what's up? Hyping this match the way Tony did is just like the I got a surprise thing. That underdelivered a lot. Now has little effect. Keep doing things like this, and big matchups will go the same. Yeah, you can't. It's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And what's going to happen is now you put the thought in people's minds that you start hyping stuff up, and yeah, you start to kind of think, well, I remember the last one that got hyped up, and look how that turned out. So yeah, I don't know. It's not good. It wasn't good. So we'll see. The Kook says just relax. What do you think about all the Wendy Chu and Tiffany Stratton lights out? The NXT stuff. I enjoyed it. It was different. I enjoyed it. I'm glad Wendy won. I like Wendy Chu on NXT. So yeah, no, it was fun. Yeah, Thunder Rosa, yes. Yeah, very much. Yeah, we are going to get to that. So good segue. All right. What do we got next?
As a matter of fact, Thunder Rosa.
Look at that. Thunder Rosa. She was on Busted Open. She called in yesterday, the day before. Was it yesterday? The day before? I don't remember. Heartbreaking. She was crying her eyes out, talking, saying that it's a back thing. She said she was in so much pain she couldn't move out of her bed. And she's very, very adamant about not wanting to get painkillers or pain shots. She does not want to do it. She's not into it at all. She was talking to Tommy Dreamer about it. Tommy Dreamer is saying like he had received over the course of his career, he got like 60 some cortisone shots. And when he told his doctor that, the doctor's like, you do know that you're really only supposed to have like maybe 5 or 6 of those in your lifetime. And because that's just not something you're supposed to be putting in your body. It's not good for you. But I felt really bad for her. And she is really upset with a lot of the dirt sheets. Really, really upset because she said that like the ones that are calling her out and saying she's faking it, it's a work, all this other stuff, and she was really, really upset, saying that, listen, you want to say stuff about me, you call me. She said, you can call me on my phone. She said, you can call me at Busted Open, whatever you need to do. She said, but I can guarantee you, she said, if I could fight, I would be fighting. She said, that's what I am and that's what I do. But it was very sad. Her and Tommy got a little emotional. And the two of them were kind of, they were very emotional at the same time. And yeah, I think she's a very genuine person. I love Thunder Rosa. We interviewed her way back when, and I respected her and liked her a lot from then. And I still do. And it's very sad because when the back goes, and I'm sure Jeff can talk more about this, but when the back goes, there's not much you can do. There's just not much you can do. You obviously can't get out there. You can't be doing what you're doing because there's a chance that, Tommy taking all those cortisone shots, there's a chance that you could make it worse. And then you can't live your life. And that's what she was talking about. She said, listen, I want to live my life. I don't want to be in a wheelchair. I don't want to be not able to walk well. I want to be able to live my life after my wrestling career is over. But very sad. And I feel very bad for her, Jeff. I like I said, I like her. I think she's a fantastic person, and just a shame that things happen. And that's one of the injuries that there just isn't a whole lot you could do.
Yeah, back injuries are difficult when it comes to anything. I mean, living day-to-day life, let alone wrestling.
Yep.
And landing on your back and doing the things that they do to entertain us. Thunder Rosa is injured. Let me say that again. Thunder Rosa is injured. Let's stop with the stuff with backstage and all of that, because these things, maybe that did happen, but that's not why she relinquished the title. You can listen to her on Busted Open and tell this devastated her to get to the point that she did, to achieve what she has, and now to have to give that up. She's devastated.
She is.
So, so I've seen a couple things in the chat, and I'm gonna leave it. Hopefully we can skip past it and not even reading it, some of it. But she's injured, so I think she deserves our respect.
Yep.
I think sometimes when people link two things together, it's not always how it goes. So just be cautious. Be cautious of what you read.
Yep.
We say that a lot, but be careful about what you read.
And James, you're 100% right. And she said that. She called herself that. She said, I am one tough bitch. She said that on Busted Open. And she said, there is no way, if I was able to stand and do what I do, that I would have ever given up that title. And I believe that. That title was so important for her that, no, There is no way that she would have done it. And her and LaGreca are close now. They're pretty good friends. She was at LaGreca's house. They did this whole little skit thing where she went to, he was supposed to be going, she was supposed to be going after him and all this kind of stuff. But they're really close. And to hear Tommy, getting broken up, talking to her, listen, Tommy's not faking it. It's and to hear that is just silly. And then she started talking about how her son's birthday just happened and she wasn't able to get out of bed, and she was crying. She said it was the first time she's been home in years to see her son and to celebrate his birthday, and she couldn't because she couldn't get out of bed. Do you think she'd really lie about that? Come on. And that we'll talk again. Like I said, I keep segueing this, but we'll talk about this later too, because it's that kind of stuff is disgusting. And I mentioned it on Twitter. I put a post up on Twitter saying be better. And that's what I'm talking about. That kind of stuff's just gross. You're putting it out there to put it out there to try to get clicks, and it's disgusting, and you're hurting people. You're not just saying things to get clicks, but you're hurting people in the process. So stupid. Just stupid. So all right, man. What is next?
All right, next up. Staying on the AEW side of things, Discover wants to tone down AEW. Is that the report that's out there?
Yeah, so Discovery is really kicking some butt with all their stuff that they own. The first mass exodus was HBO Max. A lot of the movies that were on HBO Max that were like one-shot films that they did for HBO Max are now gone. Discovery looks as if they're cleaning house. Those of you who love DC stuff, they pretty much canceled just about everything that's out there that was coming up. They canceled that Batgirl movie that was already done, much to the chagrin of some people. A lot of people didn't like that they did it. They are moving movies back. The Discovery is really taking over here. And apparently they came out and they told AEW they don't like the cursing. They said, that when they're coming up into the microphone and they're saying that kind of stuff, they're like, no, that's going to stop. We don't. They didn't say anything about the blood, Tony, but they did say we don't want the cursing anymore. So they are. Look, they want to stay with them, and they don't have to. But if they want to stay with them. And not move with somebody else. And the plan, we heard in the past that the plan was to maybe go to HBO Max to do their pay-per-views and stuff like that. You want to stay with them. It's their rules. It's their game now. And, whether or not you like it or you don't, this is how it's going to be. And Warner is now, they're now Discovery and vice versa. And, this is what it is. It's just if you want to do what you want to do, you're going to have to play by their rules, and a lot of people may not like it, but what can you do? What can you do? So, Jeff, what do you think?
I mean, and Conrad said they didn't say that. He said
that's the article that I read, but okay.
He said that Tony Khan mentioned it to me. I'll put it like this: if they did say it, then you gotta, if you're AEW, you gotta play ball. I mean, until you get something different. If they didn't say it, it is what it is. Keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. But if it's it all comes down to what the parent company wants. If that's what they truly want, then everybody underneath them has to play ball and follow the rules. If they're not putting that restriction on them, then hey, you don't have to change anything. Keep doing your thing. It's people love it. So
yeah. So there's multiple places that wrote this. Just to let you know, Warner Brothers wants explicit language toned down on AEW TV. Meltzer reported on The Observer. Tony Khan said they recently told Tony Khan this from Meltzer. Discovery recently told Tony Khan they'd like the language toned down on his shows for them, seeing as AEW's contract with their U.S. television partners coming up. The new ownership at WBD has the entire entertainment industry uncertain about what their next move will be. Seems highly unlikely Tony Khan will ignore this note from the network. So, he's saying, and then there's cage side seats. Discovery wants explicit language toned down on AEW TV. Pretty much the same article. And then there was an F4 online, less swearing on AEW. Promotion was told by Warner Brothers Discovery recently that they would like the language toned down. So, it was in multiple places. So I'm just reading all this. So they do. Yeah, they have to. You have to listen. You gotta like it or not. You gotta dance with who brings you. So what does Meltzer know? Yeah, well, listen, it's not one of our favorite people either, but it is what it is. Like I usually don't believe things unless I see them from multiple sources, multiple good sources, not some run-of-the-mill person who doesn't know what they're doing. But usually, if a whole bunch of them are running with the same story, you kind of figure it's probably true. They don't want to look that bad. So, all right, moving on.
All right, up next, Impact got a little bit of a boost in the ratings.
This really makes me happy. 2 weeks in a row. And this is really a time of the year when, now for them, it's bound for glory. But this is really, this is 2 weeks in a row now that Impact's getting some more viewers and their ratings are going up, which is really, really a good sign for them because, again, they were flat for a good long time. And, I remember when we interviewed Hernandez, Jeff, and how Hernandez was talking about that really, his wish would be for more people to talk about it and watch it because, you weren't really seeing this happening. So, this is great to see. They deserve it. They're doing a really great job. Their shows are really entertaining. And I'm glad to see that more people are watching it. And I have to thank you guys because a lot of you may have started watching it because of us. And that's awesome. So if you're new to it and now you're watching it because we were watching it and you're enjoying it, that's fantastic. And I hope we all continue to do this, and I hope they continue to get the eyes on their product because they really deserve it. So it's just great to see. And I was thrilled when I saw this, Jeff.
Yeah, it's good for Impact. This is great because more eyes means hopefully more people navigate towards watching Bound for Glory and Victory Road and all these other shows that they have coming up. So I'm excited. I'm happy for them. I'm glad that they're doing well. So yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to see. Conrad said he just sent something over. Let me see what he sent over because I want to make sure. Obviously, I don't want to get if the story is different. I want to make sure that we get. Let's see what he sent. Regarding AEW being asked, this is from Fightful. To tone language, the company tells Fightful that they believe that was taken out of context and wasn't an edict from the network. There you go. So there's a follow-up thing on there. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, it's all that. Listen, that's way above our pay grade. That's big corporation stuff. So, but we'll see. I mean, you'll notice, if you see the changes down the road, you'll notice that's probably why they got a notice from the bigwigs saying, look, we want things to change. Barry Monkey says a lot of people who don't watch Impact, we're talking about Shelley or Saban looking for it on YouTube. That and a few other really great matches is starting to have an effect. Yeah, I agree. I started because I found you guys while I had COVID, says Derek. Well, see, that's awesome. I'm glad. I'm very Mark. I don't know who follows us or not. We get people. Jeff had heard some Impact wrestlers when he was up at the meet and greet where Bray was. Johnny Swinger mentioned to him that he knows us, knows who we are. Some of the people that he saw at that independent show mentioned that they know who we are. That's very flattering, considering we're a small channel in a big world. But the fact that they know is very flattering. And listen, if we can help them in any way, get eyes on the product, that's great. That's absolutely fantastic. Johnny Bates with another donation. Thank you so much. Bound for Glory 2023 for UK and BT Studio. Do it. Maybe they'll go back to the UK. That'd be awesome, right? That'd be awesome. Do not bet against the swingman. Yes. All right. What's up next, Jeff?
Speaking of Impact, who will be the number one contender after this week? We've got Masha going up against Deonna Purrazzo.
If you know, don't spoil it.
Please.
Do not. And oh, am I mad about that? Because that's what I'm going to talk about in my little grievance. Because that whole stupid thing got ruined for me, and I am really not happy about it. Because I don't go looking, and this one was as blatant and as plain as day on a page that it should never have been. And I'm really upset about it. Really, really upset about it. So who will be number one? Jeff, I'm not. You know what? I'm going to let you do this. I can't logically answer it because if I do, because I know, because I saw the stupid thing, which I'm really annoyed with. So I'm not going to answer it because I'm going to give people the answer away, and I don't want to do that. So Jeff, all you.
Honestly, a lot of folks don't remember this, but this is actually a rematch from Knockouts Knockdown from last year.
That's right. Yep.
So I had to be educated on that a little earlier because I completely forgot about it. I think it's going to be a great match. I think it's Masha's time. I think it's her time to win and challenge for that title. Deonna's great. I love her, but I think it's time for Masha to do her thing, and I think Deonna and Chelsea Green will continue to be a great team. That's what I think. I think they're really trying to build up that Knockouts tag division, and I think having them as the Knockouts tag team world champions is a good thing.
I totally agree. And the rest of it, Jeremy says Impact is better than AEW. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoy it. That's cool, man. If you like Impact, listen. I will say this to the ends of the earth. It is my favorite show of the week, bar none. I have more fun watching that than any other show that I watch. That WWE and NXT and anything else included that I can watch, I enjoy Impact better. So, dude, if you like it, that's fantastic. So yeah, that's awesome. What else is going? We'll still miss the Swinger Daddies. Deonna is my bet, says James. No comments from me, says David Paul. So he must have saw the same thing I did. Triple H is watching social media like a hawk, and they're going ruling SmackDown. Deonna is the ace. She's the foundation. I'm Deonna all the way. Be it an Impact or wherever she goes in the future. I think Masha, as Deonna, will be involved in a tag match. Yeah, she's still she has the tag team belt. Not to say she couldn't be two belts. She talked about that with Gail Kim backstage, actually. Good night, Jason's Theme Park Vlogs. Good memory, Jeff. That is right. Wow, long-term storyline from Impact. Wrestling taping should be treated like living in a small house with 3 new 90-year-olds. Jeez, yuck. I don't want that example. Whoever wins, you guys will be in for a treat at Bound for Glory. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we will. I'm really, really excited about Bound for Glory. Spoilers. Yes, no spoilers. Okay. All right. What's next, Jeff?
Finally, for the news, this crazy match.
Dear Lord. We were just talking about blood, guts, and gore, and if you like that kind of stuff, boy, are you going to get it. Come out to Impact Victory Road, which is soon, will be our next pay-per-view that we'll be doing. Come out and watch this because it's called the Massacre for a reason. You saw Sami Callihan wrapped in a roll of barbed wire, like a ball, coming out in front of the fans. Hell, he almost razored a fan. There's a fan right behind him with barbed wire sticking out of him. This is going to be insane. And we've seen him and Moose in some of these matches prior. Now you're going to add Macklin into this. This is going to be horrible. That's the only word I can use to describe it. This is going to be a mess.
Yeah.
They're all going to be bloody, and this is going to be just a big mess. So if you like this kind of stuff, you need to come out and watch Victory Road because this is just going to be an absolute mess. Jeff, there's not much more to say. When these guys get together, oh my God, Sammy will be a crimson mess. Yes. I'm sure Moose will be too. Macklin probably is. This is just going to be a nightmare.
You know, I got to put some respect on Macklin because honestly, you remember him from Thursday night getting busted open, and he was just that crimson mask. I mean, I got to give some love to Macklin because he's been getting color pretty good lately. So this is going to be a crazy match. This is going to be insane, and I can't wait to watch it. This is James Chadwick's favorite kind of match here. He actually called it on the watch along.
He did.
We're going to have a barbed wire massacre match. He said it Bound for Glory, but you know what, James, we got it sooner. So that's good. Good on you for calling that because we needed this. Now I want to see something bigger. I want to see something crazy at Bound for Glory between these guys. I don't know what that is.
Where can they go?
Crazy.
Set the ring on fire, and where can they go? I mean, geez, they were already doing the whole Ravens match thing. They did that. Where can they go? I mean, what are they gonna do next? Yeah, I mean, have a match over a volcano. I don't know. Like, where do you go from here? Crazy match incoming, says Conrad. Yeah, this is so if you like this kind of stuff, I told you there's ways that you can see it. It is out there. If James Grant's talking about EC Dub, hardcore, it's gonna be a blip, and those kind of people like that stuff. I watched a lot of ECW. Listen, it was very different. It was very violent. But it was fun to watch if you're into blood and guts. I love horror films. I love slasher movies. I'm into that stuff, I guess. And so, there's something out there for everyone. But if you like it, you better come out to Victory Road and watch it. So it's going to be good. And it's going to be bloody. It will be bloody.
There will be blood.
There definitely will be blood. Oh, man. So that's the news. Someone shared a picture, and I think I saw this on Facebook, and I get this nostalgia picture sent to me a lot because of my 80s show. Someone shared a picture with me of the Great Space Coaster, a show that used to be on when I was a very young man. And I can remember getting up for school and hearing this theme song. I still remember the theme song in my head. And whenever I think of the news, they had all animals on this thing, and there was a GNU, a GNU, so GNU, and his name was Gary. And he used to do the news. And the saying was, there's good GNUs with Gary, something. It went something like that. There's no GNUs or good GNUs with Gary GNU. And I remember to this day, it's like still, whenever I hear news, I think of Gary GNU. So just random goofy stuff that I remember. A heaven and hell match. Light tubes. Could you imagine a light tubes in the ring match? Yes. Yeah, I guess I call it Japanese death match. Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know where else they could go. Mark says, I feel like the reason why there are spoilers is because wrestling shows do so many tapings and not enough live events, especially. Well, Impact does tapings, yeah. But the thing is, Mark, I get it. But they don't need to put it out in such a way that everyone sees it no matter what they click. It shouldn't be, there should be a warning. There should be a thing for them. Listen, we live in the age of technology. There should be a thing that says, click this, but be wary. If you do, you're going to get spoilers. They should not just put it in a headline on Twitter. That's what I'm talking about. I get it. They tape things. I get that. But they should make it where you just don't see it. If you want to see it, you have to click it. And they don't all do that. So, okay. Hey, Gus, how are you? All right, I think we are going on to, well, everybody's favorite section of the program. I think it's time. It's time, Jeff.
It's time. Let's go. Here we go.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
You know, now that I've been having that issue thing with my voice lately, with the thing I was having, I don't understand how Jerry Stiller, as a comedian and as a person who was on all these shows, could possibly do that all the time, yell constantly in all of these comedy shows without losing his voice. But God bless and rest in peace, because he did. Whether it was King of Queens, Seinfeld, he was yelling all the time, and I don't know how you could keep that up and do that without losing your voice. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys, the floor is Jeff's. This is the one that he kind of had prepared already last week, but he wanted to wait for this week. He was kind enough to give me the floor last week, but Jeff's going to start us out with his grievance this week. So, Jeff, it's all you, man.
All right, man. So hopefully people understand where I'm coming from with this, and maybe we'll see how people feel about it. So for this week, I had to look up what Urban Dictionary said about the word trolls, like how they defined a troll. And they define a troll as a person who deliberately posts provocative messages with the intention of causing maximum disruption and an argument. That's what Urban Dictionary defines a troll as. I'm going to go a step further, and I'm going to say that there are three different kinds of trolls. There's your troll that they just don't have anything better to do. They don't have a life, and they just like being a miserable prick. That's your first kind. Your second kind is the person that's trying to get the clout. They're trying to be seen. They're trying to get a response from someone on Twitter, someone famous. So they're just a prick. They all have that in common, trolls. And then your third, those are your influential trolls. You know, the trolls that are very popular on social media. They might be popular in this space too. Who knows? But they have some popularity out there. They may be a politician. They may be an athlete, but it's someone that has some influence over people. Last week I had a moment where I normally don't respond to trolls, but I saw someone respond to something that they weren't even tagged in and I was tagged in it. So I felt the need to say something. I felt the need to say something. I normally don't, but I did. One person talked about his anatomy and a part of it that I won't discuss on this show, but how people feel about Bray and all of that. So I had to respond, in a very smart way to that. Another person said something and I responded to them as well. So another person, and I'm not even going to give them the dignity of putting their name out there, because this is the second part of my grievance tonight. Another person comes into my DMs. They call me the N-word. They say, "Oh, you must be an uppity N-word. You think you're smart. You think you're intelligent. You think you're this. You think you're that. You're nothing." So, like I said, typically I don't do this, but I had a little bit of time that day. So I responded and I said, What's going on for you? What's really going on for you to message someone with racist language because of wrestling? We're not talking about solving the world's problems. We're not talking about curing cancer. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about wrestling. And because I have an opinion, because I have a clapback for two people, which I'm just gonna assume that it was one of the two people I responded to. But because I clap back at that, that gives you the right to then come into my DMs and say that? Really? But the funniest part about a troll is that they do one of two things. They either create a fake account because they lack the, let's say, intestinal fortitude to come at us in a real way. They lack it. Or they get others to do their bidding for them because, again, there are influential trolls. Just keep that in mind. To those people, I say, grow up, grow a backbone, and for God's sakes, get a life. There's a wonderful thing that I won't speak on this show because it's not late enough yet. But if you did that and got out of your mother's basement or your parents' basement, your life would dramatically change. There are also, we'll say, educational tools that you can watch that will help you relieve some of the stress that you may have in your life because you are clearly lacking something. Or, you could just be a decent human being and be kind to other people. But I'm not gonna be nice. I mean, I'm not gonna be mean. I'm gonna be nice here. I'm not gonna be mean to you. I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna tell you to go fornicate yourself with the whatever. That's not my style. But what I will tell you is this: people on social media feel like they can say anything and everything because they're behind the screen. They don't feel like there are real consequences. Well, there are people that take their lives because of social media BS like this. There are people who are not living out their dreams, not chasing their goals because of what someone may leave in a comment about how they sound on a podcast or how they look on a podcast. They are missing out on something that they could do because they are under the thumb of a troll. To those people, I say, don't let someone so small-minded shrink your world. Be bigger than them. Go after it. You know what? Try. Fail. Failure is not the end. It's just a destination. It's just a part of the destination to success. So, to the trolls, I'm going to go back to the trolls because I want to end with them. Get a life. Please get a life. And my goodness, stop hating on other people because they like something that you don't. Stop hating on them. And before anybody says this in the chat, I've seen it from both sides. You have just as big WWE trolls who call AEW fans some horrible names, and that's just as bad as some of the AEW like hardcore. I'm not talking about like a diehard fan. I'm talking about they are hardcore. They are, if you say anything positive about WWE, you're called an E-drone. those types of people. Wrestling is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be something that we enjoy. Most of us got into it, found out about it, started loving it when we were young. Why can't we just get back to that instead of belittling each other, putting other people down, and dragging personal beef and whatever else it is, trying to drag people down personally because you don't agree on a particular subject? Let's be better, because the next time a troll comes in my DMs and does what the last person did, I'm going to start something called the troll exposure account, and just don't end up on there. And that's all I have to say about that.
Good stuff. Mine's going to kind of segue off of Jeff's a little bit too, but you know what Jeff said about these people affecting other, you don't really realize how much you can affect a person in a negative way, and look, there may be just people. Some people just are mean. There may be. I think a lot of it is for attention. And but like he said, you're never going to see these people for whatever reason. They can't say things to anyone's face. To me, you're just a coward. You're just a coward. You sit behind your keyboard, wherever it is you're sitting, your bedroom, your tree house, your basement, wherever, and you just live to put people down. You're just a bad person. you're just a bad person. So yeah, I mean, what more can be said? It's a horrible thing. We see it a lot. We see it a lot on our social media accounts. We see it, Twitter is the worst of it. It really is. Twitter's a cesspool. It really is. If I didn't have, you use it, Twitter was made as a marketing tool. And really, that's what I use it for primarily. I don't really hardly ever use my personal Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that. Most of the time, what I put on Twitter are silly pictures or my Wordle results from the day. That's what I use my personal Twitter for. The Insiders one is a little different because I use it for marketing. But Twitter's a cesspool. It's literally the worst of all the social media things. Whether it be Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, Twitter's the worst. And I think it's because celebrities and people that are well known make themselves accessible on it. And even though they're probably not that person, 9 times out of 10, it's probably someone running their social media account. It makes these people come out of the woodwork thinking that they can just come out and say anything they want to these people. Because I can make an account and I could be a fake account and I can put down a wrestler and tell them that they're ugly or tell them that they're horrible do you know? I don't know how many of you in chat. I know probably a lot of you do. There was a wrestler who took her own life because of it. Took her own life. Think about that. You don't think it affects people? Yeah, it does. And like Jeff said, be better. As a society, we have to, growing up as a very young man, I was raised Catholic, and I learned 2 things very young. 1, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. And 2, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. 2 things. That was ingrained in my head from my mom, my dad, and my grandparents when I was growing up. So, yeah. Mine is kind of a segue because to me, I listen. I was telling you guys, I listen to Busted Open. You all know that. I listen to it a good amount. I listen to a podcast now. I don't get the station anymore, but I listen to a podcast. And when I heard that thing with Thunder Rosa, it got me thinking. And I got to thinking, and this is why I put out that Dirt Sheet Challenge that I put out. How much our lives in the world of wrestling would be better if we had no dirt sheets. I personally think we would be so much happier as wrestling fans. I really do. And I was trying to go out and prove that, because I was trying to stay away from it as long as I could for a week too. And it's hard for me because I have to get stuff for our show, and I usually share it if I think it's worthwhile. So I tried as much as I could. And when was it? When the Texas tapings are happening in Impact 2 nights ago? Was it Friday? Yeah, no, yes, Friday, yesterday. And I just happened to open up my Twitter, and it happened to, when you open up Twitter, a lot of times it doesn't go right to, like, if you're following accounts or whatever, sometimes the people that follow them, you get still on your page. And I happen to open it up, and there are the results that someone stuck on their page of all of the things that happened in the Texas tapings. So one of the big things I've been looking forward to with a little bit of unease is the whole thing with Mickie James. And I had that spoiled for me. Well, I was not happy. I immediately blocked the site. I was going to tell them something, but I thought, that's not going to get me anywhere anyway, because they're just being an asshole. So they're not going to care one way or the other. So I blocked the site, but it was too late. I opened it. It was right there, right in front of my face. I couldn't look away. It was there. Your brain reacts before you do sometimes, and you just see things you don't want to see. But I'll come right out and say it. Whether it be a credible dirt sheet, what's a credible dirt sheet? It's kind of like a two-way street anyway, because dirt sheets to me, and if you're a little old or you're younger than I am, you may not remember growing up and seeing the garbage magazines that we would see in grocery stores, the Star magazine, the National Enquirer. These things were the prelude to dirt sheets. Not necessarily about wrestling, but they did like national stuff with celebrities, and this celebrity is having sex with this celebrity's wife, and this celebrity is this and that, and it was on the Enquirer was just a bunch of ridiculousness about aliens are invading the Vatican and all this other kind of weird stuff. But listen, I love Again, Bully Ray. I love Bully Ray. I really do. I'd love to meet him someday. He and I, it's funny because he loves Star Wars like I do. I think him and I could have been friends at some point. But he comes out and says that he thinks that the dirt sheets were started because these people they were wannabe wrestlers. They wanted to be wrestlers, and they just couldn't cut it. They couldn't make it as a wrestler. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do what they would have had to do to be a wrestler. And because they can't, they started a thing. Well, let's just go out and let's just find out and dig for all this stuff, and let's just spoil it for everyone. And that's what he said. And I kind of like that. I'm like, he's probably right in some cases. There probably are people who wanted to be in pro wrestling, and they just couldn't. And you even see that with newspapers. Sometimes, as I went to college for journalism, paper journalism, and sometimes you see these reporters that wanted to be a player. They wanted to be a football player, or they wanted to be a baseball player, and they couldn't do it. So they become a reporter. And a lot of times what they end up very, very disgruntled, and they turn into asshole reporters. So I would go as far as to say that I think the wrestling world, all of us as fans, would be so much better if they were all gone. Every single one of them. Because say what they will, they are never 100% correct. They may hit on one or two or three, but they're not going to be correct with everything they report. no matter how good they are or how good they say they are. And I don't care what you say, they are bad for the business. They're bad for wrestling. They're bad for fans. They cause a lot of what Jeff talked about because the people have the, and listen, what gets me, listen, I understand it. I do. I grew up wanting to know. Everybody wants to know. We all do. But I grew up that where when a new movie came out, the novel was always out released first. So even back when Star Wars came out in 1977, I had the book first. I was only 8 years old, but I was reading novels and I had the book. I still own it. I have the paperback of the movie. So I read it before the film came out, but that was how it went. The books came out first and then the screenplay was done and then they made the movie. So I knew all the characters. I knew what was going to happen. And in fact, there was more in the book than there ended up in the film because they cut stuff. So I knew what was going to happen. But it didn't ruin anything for me because I still had to yet to see it up on a screen. I had to see the characters and see what they looked like because I had them pictured in my head completely different from what they were. So I get it. I get the need to know. But I don't think that we need to know as much as we think we need to know. I think it ruins the fun. I can just go back and harken back to when I was watching WWF, when I was seeing these matches every week, when I was seeing the promos. Listen, could you imagine if we would have had the Hogan heel turn spoiled? And you can damn well bet we would have.
Yeah, it would have happened.
We would have had it spoiled. And you know, it would have ruined everything. People in that audience would have known. There wouldn't have been people throwing garbage in the ring. They would have known. And that's sad. And that's what they're doing now. They're ruining the fun. I'm very glad that they got away with the Johnny thing and they hid it. When any of these promoters, whether it be Triple H, Tony Khan, whoever, whenever any of them can put one over on the dirt sheets. And Bully Ray came out and said, there's a lot of boys in the back who he calls the wrestlers that are reporting to dirt sheets. They're the ones doing it. And he said, you know, that's why, you know, he was talking about it as Triple H, you only tell, like maybe Johnny Gargano, the whole thing with him, maybe only Triple H knew, maybe only Stephanie knew, maybe only certain people, but you only have like a handful of people who know that it's coming. And then this way, if it does get out, you know the 4 or 5 people you told, and you can confront them about actually ruining it. So you can figure out who it was. But man, I just really think wrestling would be so much better without them all. And I get it. A lot of them are making big bucks on it. They're making money on it. And they're going to be around for as long as they want to be until they retire someday. All the much more rich. But all I'm thinking is I hope that one day they can look back upon the times when they were younger and the times when they were kids and they first got turned on to the wrestling business and really think to themselves, what have I become? What have I turned into? And I'm now the one who's turning around and I'm ruining it. For my own popularity, my own clicks, my own money. I'm ruining it for all the young children who watch this and are growing up on it now. I ruin it. And I hope they can live with that. And someday they'll realize it. Maybe when they do retire and they don't need the money anymore. But they'll look back and they'll think, maybe they'll have children of their own someday. And those kids will come to them and they'll tell them that, yeah, you know, I found out all about this, so I'm not really that interested in it. And maybe then they'll realize and it'll hit them that, damn, maybe I really shouldn't have been doing this all this time. So that's it. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Well, there it is. Our airing of grievances. Again, Jody was saying she was gonna come on. Obviously, she was in the hospital earlier today, so probably not feeling all that well or sleeping, whatever. Probably had. I know she had a visit there, so hopefully maybe she'll be up for Abby's tomorrow, and you'll get to hear what she had for hers on Abby's tomorrow. So I think only Triple H had Stephanie, Nick, and Candice know Johnny signed a contract. Candice did tweet a picture of her and their son watching Raw. Well, let's see, that's good. That's good because the less people that know, the better. So, all right, guys, that is it for our airing of grievances segment this week. We hope you enjoyed it, and I'm sure we'll be back with another one next week on our show. So we are off and running. What's up next, Jeff?
All right, so it's time to ring the bell.
Ding, ding. All right, we are at the Sell or No Sell segment of it. Speaking of ding ding, there is a new movie out with Sylvester Stallone, and it's about him as a superhero. So I might actually check it out tonight. It came out the 26th. It looks interesting to me. He's like a retired superhero, so it looks pretty good. I might give it. I might check it out. Ding ding. All right. Sell or no sell, topic number 1. You guys play along in the chat as always. I hope you guys are live when Wyndham returns. And yeah, see, an Alexa Bliss gamer, that kind of thing too. If you're watching a watch along, aren't you a little more excited when the hosts of the watch along don't know what's coming? It makes for a really fun time, doesn't it? So yeah. All right. Discovery will make changes to AEW, Jeff. Sell or no sell? We talked about this a little bit earlier about the, toning down some things. But other than that, are they going to make changes, other changes maybe to AEW?
I'm gonna no sell it. I'm gonna no sell. I don't think they will. I think when it's all said and done, it's all about the numbers. And if they're happy with the numbers, I think they're happy with what AEW is doing. So I'm gonna no sell it. I think that I don't think they'll make major changes. I think the only time that they would, and I think I saw somebody, Barry Monkey, said this, but I think unless the numbers drop dramatically low, I don't think they'll ask them to make any changes.
Yeah. Somebody asked about this. It's called Samaritan RK Shuttlesworth, and it's on Amazon Prime. I am going to no sell this too, for the reasons Jeff said. But Discovery, their changes that they're making, and all these changes that they're making to like the DC universe and everything. Look, let's be honest. The DC universe is pretty much a shim-sham mess of garbage. So ever since the Zack Snyder stuff got weird, and that's been just a mess. And they're restarting that. They're trying to do obviously AEW is doing pretty well. They're getting ratings. It's not like they're in the gutter and they need to be fixed. So I don't think they will. No major changes. I don't think. Maybe a little thing here and there, but I think they'll I think they're all right with what they're getting with that. So I don't think they'll make any major changes either. Deanna says sell. Okay. Barry Monkey says no sell unless viewing figures drop. Conrad says no sell. Big Boy Dally says no sell. AEW be the same. Coog says no sell. Sounds like Warner's good with the product and the cross-promotional work. RK Shuttlesworth says no sell. Minor tweaks more than big changes. Yeah, I agree. Jesse's back. I'm back. No sell. I'm not an AEW viewer, but I think they are a golden goose for WB Discovery. Yeah, they're making the money. That's the bottom line. No problem, RK Shuttlesworth. Alicia says no sell. All right. Topic number 2.
All right, this one should be fun. It's a mistake for Netflix to continue with the documentary.
Oh, man. I was shocked when I read this.
Yeah, I was too.
I like ballsy of Netflix to do. I was really surprised that they would do this. This isn't going to go well with a lot of people. And Netflix has to be careful because they just got done with Stranger Things. And now there's not going to be another one for probably 2.5 years. And they were not doing well. They're up in their memberships constantly. People were not sticking around on there. And if they get a lot of people that are going to be pissed off about this, Ooh, they probably will, especially a lot of women, I would imagine, that were, so I wow. I wouldn't have done it. I personally wouldn't have done it. I would have let it go. But like, nope, I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole. So my answer, is it a mistake for them to continue? Yeah, I'm selling it. Yeah,
I love it.
it is. It's a bad PR move. I don't think it's smart. Regardless, it's a documentary, yes, but documentaries are also gonna, they're gonna require interviews. They're gonna require, all this stuff. Is it a good time for him to be shown in a documentary right now? No, I don't think so. It's this, all this stuff is ongoing. It's fresh in everyone's minds. We keep hearing new stuff almost weekly about money that he was spending on things he wasn't supposed to, and all of this stuff. And if more and more of these people start coming out and talking about him, no, I would not. I would not do this right now. They want to do it. Wait. Do it down the road at some point in time, maybe when all of this investigative stuff gets done. Then maybe do it when a determination is made, but not right now. It's too fresh on everybody's minds. I don't think it's something that's necessary. And for Netflix, I just think it's bad pub. So, yeah, I would say sell it. I think it's a mistake. Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm going to, well, let me start here first. It could be potentially a blockbuster in terms of money, but like some old folks that I know, that I knew and grew up with, that raised me, used to say, all money ain't good money, and that's the case here. I don't think it's a good idea to do this, but if they're going to do this and tell the truth and be down the middle, and it's not basically a Netflix WWE 24 documentary, whatever they do, A&E kind of thing, if it's not going to be one of those pieces, and they sell and they go right down the middle and they tell both sides and let people decide for themselves or whatever the case may be, you know what? That's different. But I'll be honest, I'm kind of good. I'm all set on Vince McMahon news right now. I'd be okay if I didn't, see a picture of his birthday party on social media with people at it. I don't need to see Vince right now. I'm all set on Vince. So yeah, I'm gonna sell it.
All right. Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird topic because you can kind of go both ways, I guess, with it, depending on how it's presented. But yeah, I don't know. I just yeah, it's a little like, yeah, I'd be a little skeptical about it if I was Netflix. So, are they trying to maybe just be a little controversial and get subs? Maybe. Yeah, maybe, could be. Yeah. All right, man. What's next?
All right, next. WWE needs a draft before the next WrestleMania.
I saw somebody today write an article about this and say that it would be detrimental if they did a draft right now. Like detrimental, like ruin momentum, detrimental. Oh man, that's a good question. Because you kind of always want to see a draft like around, fall, like September, October. Before the off season starts and before they get back to Royal Rumble for the following year. So I don't know, that's kind of when you're used to seeing it. But I'm gonna no sell it. I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. The way bringing all these people back that he is, he's bringing them back to certain shows already. So those people are going to be on that show. I don't think it would be smart at this point to, some people are saying, well, why would you, if you brought Karrion Kross back to be on SmackDown, why all of a sudden would you want to draft him and move him to Raw? Especially when he's in the middle of something going on there. The same thing goes with Loomis being on Raw. And other people, in the positioning of the people that are going on now and the storylines that they're trying to start to tell. I don't think it's smart to interrupt all that, because then if you break them up, well, then your storylines just went to crap, because then all that stuff you were building on and positioning these new players on the table on their own shows is going to all go by the wayside. So to be honest, I think it's a waste of time now. Wait till next year and maybe have the draft. How cool would it be? And this would be big. Could you imagine the huge Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania and SmackDown being draft nights? Woo! How cool would that be? You know how big that Raw and that SmackDown are? And how cool would that be because, listen, if for some reason we don't get Bray before the end of this year, how cool would it be if on the Raw after you get him drafted and he comes out that way?
Wow.
I think it would be tremendous. Tremendous. So I'm saying no. I don't think they do. Not right now, not the way they're doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna no sell. I'm gonna no sell too. They don't need it before the next WrestleMania. I would say if everything was still the same and no changes had been made, then yes, they needed a draft. James Chadwick said this a little bit earlier, but you allow Triple H to bring in the people that he wants to bring in, and that's everyone that he wants to bring back.
Yep.
Over the next several months, not just now, but over the next several months.
Yep.
That gives him time to assess. That gives him time to evaluate what storylines are working, what direction he wants to go in. And then you get to WrestleMania and you have that draft. And my goodness, how cool would it be, like Joe said, to have the draft take place the Monday night after WrestleMania? That's already your biggest Raw. Now you're making it even bigger. You're making it must watch even more so. And then you do the same thing on SmackDown that Friday night. That sounds to me like a great plan. You don't need to mess with that at all, in my opinion. Give Triple H time to do his thing, because I know a lot of people, and I agree, there have been a lot of changes that have been kind of in your face and boom, like, okay, this is pretty awesome. I see the direction that they're trying to go in, but it's going to take him at least another 6 months to get some of the inner workings correct. And I think if you throw a draft on top of that right now, that's not going to allow him to lay the foundation that he truly wants to build. And he can't really work on that foundation until he gets all of his chess pieces in place. And he hasn't done that yet. So let's wait. Let's wait for the draft.
Yes, I agree. No sell. Huge no sell, says Johnny Bates. Do the draft when Triple H has brought everyone he wants back, says James. Sell and no sell. If they have a way to break up the titles, no sell. If they have no idea how to break them up, sell. No sell. A lot of new talent. James Grant says no sell. No sell. I think the brand extension should go away unless Raw is either going to get a championship or Roman is going to float between both shows. No sell. Biggest show of the year. So end the year after that. No sell. Wrong time. Alicia says no sell. Wait and see for me on this, says Mark. Johnny Bates says, if they treated SmackDown and Raw as two separate companies with two separate pay-per-views and belts, then I'd sell for an after Mania draft. No sell. Budget cuts after WrestleMania. I don't think we're going to see too much of that this year, Tony, especially with new management. I kind of don't think we're going to see that. I could be wrong, but I kind of don't think so. I see what Hunter's doing, draft after Mania, to get some big happenings and some surprises, but no sell. Conrad says no sell. Alicia says I want a Joe's way. See, they should just listen to me.
They should.
They should just listen to me. I listen. I work cheap, so you wouldn't even have to pay me that much. No, says Jeff. Finish this out and establish what we got. We are doing. I can't stand a draft and not following rules. Yeah, that gets annoying. When I was on Twitch for AEW Dynamite with Conman sent me to the Twitch channel. I'm taping Happy CM Punk lost. Cool, Dana. Jeff says exactly, but do it after Mania every year after that. Yeah, keep it the same way. It's a perfect time to switch. And think about, like, we watch Impact, of course. I think about Impact's big pay-per-views, right? Slammiversary and now after Bound for Glory. That's when all the new storylines start. So use that as a starting point. That's what you do. It's a reset button. Use it as a starting point. So many people, how many times, guys, have we complained because we get nothing but rematches, right? And here's what I hope Triple H does too next year. God darn it, do away with some of those pay-per-views. Get rid of that stupid WrestleMania Backlash garbage, please. You don't need rematches 3 weeks after WrestleMania. We don't. Get rid of it. Dump it. Get rid of it. Have a different pay-per-view. If you want to, get rid of it. That's one of the worst pay-per-views that there is. So if you have a draft, start a new pay-per-view. I don't care. Call it what you want. Call it New Beginnings. I don't care what you want to call it. But get rid of that garbage. We don't need all the rematches. And this would take care of that, because then you're going in fresh. You're starting new. You're starting new shows, new promos, you're going to have new rosters. Everything starts over. It's a reset. Hell, you could even move champions. If Cody Rhodes wins the title off of Roman, let's say, and Cody was on Raw, move him the heck to SmackDown and start all new. All new. I think it's perfect. I think it's a perfect place to start over. So good stuff. That was Sell or No Sell. So hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for playing along. And next up, I believe we're going to do a little what to watch for. So what to watch for is up next, Jeff.
You know what, man? We have a lot of what to watch for.
We do.
We have quite a bit. So let's get the clicker here. You know how we do it.
Click, click. Get the remote, baby. It's what to watch for time. Wow. This is one of those big weeks. We've got Clash at the Castle, which of course is Saturday. Don't forget to come out and check it out on our show, the watch along. Again, I won't be here. Bummer. It'll be Jeff and Jody and Tazzy probably. We'll see. But come out and join them. And this show is lining up to be a really, really big show, and the crowd is going to be tremendous. This is the first show that has been in this area in 30 years. Think about that. 30 years. This is an event, huge event. And I think the crowd is going to be smoking hot. And the matches that we're getting for this are going to be amazing. And I don't think they've even finished announcing them all. We still have 2 shows to go next week. We've got SmackDown was taped. So again, avoid the spoilers because they're out there. So SmackDown was taped from yesterday. After yesterday's, they actually taped it to show on Friday. So there's a bunch of stuff that happened there. So don't, just be careful because there are spoilers out there for SmackDown. So, and then we're probably going to get maybe more matches even on Monday. So Monday and Friday, we still have to go. But this is, Jeff, I think this, I don't know that I want to go there because SummerSlam was really, really good, but I think this is going to be better than SummerSlam, Jeff.
I agree. I think this will be, well, I don't want to jinx it by what I'm about to say, but I'm still going to say it. I think when we look back and we're doing our pay-per-view of the year for awards, we may have to discuss this one. I didn't say put it there, but discuss it because I feel like it may deliver a lot of what we want. I'm really happy for our UK friends. Really happy for them.
Yep.
So people are excited about this. People are looking forward to it, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a whole lot.
Yeah. Yep. Those of you who listen to us that are going to be able to that are going, man, what that's almost it's like a historical thing. Very, very. I mean, enjoy it because it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. I hope we get Tegan Knox return at Clash. We need the Welsh shiniest wizard. You're probably going to get some surprises at Clash.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably going to. I don't know who it's going to be. I'm not going to pretend to know. And to be honest, I wouldn't want to know. So it's going to be a fun show. I'm really pissed that I'm going to miss it. You don't know. I got 30,000 views in one day on Clash predictions, with 46% viewers being from the UK. Yeah. The Undertaker had to put another one of the. He's doing that show basically that show that he's doing, and he had to add another to it. So now he's doing two of them. I mean, how cool is that? You get to go see a show that the Undertaker just kind of sits and talks.
Yeah.
It's like a Mania. It really is.
Yeah.
It's really like a WrestleMania.
It's got that feel. It's got that vibe to it. The build is being really good for it. So
yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I really hope that I can come home that day and just watch and not have it ruined for me. But it's going to be hard to do, especially if there's something big that happens. It's going to be hard not to know. But I'm definitely going to come home and watch it because I'm really hyped for it. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really good. We got more, Jeff.
Yes, we do. We have NXT UK Worlds Collide.
I really never watched NXT UK. I'll come right out and admit it. I really never watched it, and I can't because of the time that it's on in my work schedule. So the last couple of weeks, I made it a point to sit down and watch NXT, and a lot of times I don't because I have other things now I don't, but I have other shows that are on and stuff on Tuesdays that I watch that are not wrestling. But I've been watching these last 2 weeks, and it's got me excited for this. This is really cool. I have not seen some of these guys wrestle. I've never seen Tyler Bate wrestle. You're gonna be like, what? Yeah, James Chandler's gonna be like, what? You never saw that?
I was about to say what?
Yeah, I did not. I've never seen him wrestle. I've never watched much of NXT UK. Now I know the people who have come over from there that have been on, the main roster. Now, of course, Pete Dunne and people like that, and of course now Walter. Walter's not Walter anymore, but you guys know what I mean. Those people who have come over, I know that they came from there, but I haven't seen a lot of these people. So it's pretty exciting, and the build up for this is really, really cool. I really, really like how they're doing it. Yes, it's a shame that NXT UK is going away, but it's a pretty cool way for it to go out. Fighting against the NXT for the bragging rights and to unify champions and stuff like that. That's pretty awesome. So this is going to be a good show, and this is the same day as All Out. So the same day as AEW. Now it's not the same time. They'd be silly to do that. It's earlier in the day. But that's going to be a big day of wrestling. You're going to have this big NXT thing, and then have AEW later that night. So 2 in one day. It's going to be a hell of a lot of stuff to watch. But it's pretty exciting, Jeff. I'm definitely gonna want to see this. I think Tazzy is doing a watch along for this.
Yeah, I think so.
So make sure you check out that because and I don't know if I'm around, maybe I'll pop in. Oh no, it's in the afternoon again. It's friggin' afternoon stuff. So much for that. But yeah, go and check out Tazzy's channel for the watch along for it, of course. But Jeff, this has been good stuff, man. NXT's been real good the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch live, which I'm bummed about, but yeah, it's been good from what I've heard and from the bits and pieces that I've been able to watch thus far. But yeah, this is gonna be great. I mean, Joe, I really, really hope that you get a chance to watch this because I think you'll be in for a treat. Tyler Bate, freaking awesome. Um, there are some really good matches on this card. And I'm really looking forward to the women's match. I'm really looking forward to that. So
Now, who is the woman that came out at the end? Because they were saying she wrestled in, was it WCW? Oh God, she's been in wrestling.
I didn't see this past week, so I didn't get a chance.
Okay, that's right.
Who
She's
came out.
been in wrestling for a long time. I think C pointed it out. C, who is that?
There you go.
Did someone post it?
Yeah,
Mako.
James.
Yeah, dude. She was on WCW. That's insane.
On a Nitro episode. I did see something about someone being on NXT, and they posted a picture. I just didn't see who it was.
That's crazy. Yeah, I had no clue. I thought she looked familiar, and then I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So Worlds Collide's in the afternoon too, Jesse. I'm not 100% sure when, but it's in the afternoon. I think it's like I want to say 4 or 5 o'clock ish, because it definitely ends before AEW starts. So I want to say like 4, maybe 4-ish or so. So over under 4 hours for All Out. I'd probably take the over. 5 p.m. pre-show and 6 p.m. main show, both UK time. So if that's UK time, you're 5 hours ahead of us. Oh, damn. So it starts at noon. So the pre-show starts at noon for us, and then 1 o'clock it go. Okay. So 1 o'clock Eastern time then, Jesse, is when it would be. But yeah, this is going to be fun. This is really going to be fun. Alicia says she's jealous she can't go, but Warren and others have got to watch the trains timetables in case of strikes. Prepare in advance. Well, there you go. Make sure you watch that. All right, and we're not done there, Jeff, with what to watch. In 1985, as I said, she was 17. Wow, that's insane. That's crazy. She's known as the final boss. I saw that. Yeah, I did see that. Worlds Collide is 9 p.m. UK time, so it's 4 p.m. Okay, so 4 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, thanks, James. So as I thought I saw it was around 4 or 5 o'clock. So 4, you figure it'll probably be over at 7, which is right around when this, what we have up there right now, will start. AEW All Out is also the same day. Man, paper. Are these next Sunday?
Yep, next Sunday.
Well, I guess it wouldn't really make much sense to do our show then. You probably won't be doing our show.
We probably won't have very many people.
No, we probably won't do our show next Sunday. It wouldn't make much sense. People will be coming off one pay-per-view and going to this one. So, yeah, we'll just saying right now, we'll cancel that show next Sunday. It wouldn't make sense to be on while the pay-per-views are going on. So it would be kind of dumb. We wouldn't have really many people here. So we won't have our Sunday show next week. But yeah, AEW All Out. What are they going to bring? You already seeing what's going on. What's going to happen with Moxley? Is it going to be Moxley and Punk? Is it going to be Moxley and someone else? You're going to have the trios tournament stuff. You got Kenny and the Young Bucks have to be looked upon as a favorite. There's so much stuff going on. You now need a new women's champion because of Thunder Rosa stepping down. So who is going to win that? Is it going to be Toni Storm? A lot of people think so. You've got a match between Jade Cargill and what's her real name? I keep wanting to call her Ember Moon.
Athena.
You've got Jade Cargill and Athena. So there's some really good stuff in this. And All Out's usually always good. They're probably going to have some surprises too. Does MJF come back? Does he make a comeback that night? I mean, hey guys, say what you want, say what you will. We could even see one Wyndham Rotunda debut on All Out. Some of you may not like it. Some of you may. It could happen. We don't know. We don't know where he's going or when he's coming back. So he could end up a surprise at All Out, and it would certainly be a big one. So All Out is it's one of their biggest shows of the year. It has been in the past. You've gotten some amazing surprises, returns on this show, and I have no doubt that they'll continue to do that. So that last year was the one with Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson, which was huge. So I have no doubt that they will try to bring some people back, bring some people on. for the show, and it's not that far away now. We're only a week away. So, yep, casino ladder match. Yeah, is there a what do they call that? Is there a Joker in it, James?
Yep.
There's a joke? See, so you're gonna get someone. You're gonna get someone. Now, I don't know that Wyndham would be a good spot for a ladder match. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Hey, and you got to mention this match too: Motor City Machine Guns and Jay Lethal against FTR and Wardlow. Seeing the Machine Guns on there is going to be awesome. I'll go ahead and tell you that I will probably watch All Out. Well, for me, for a few reasons, but one reason is going to be because the Motor City Machine Guns will be in the building.
Yeah. I haven't watched an AEW pay-per-view in quite some time, and I've been watching it regularly on Wednesdays now, which I haven't done for a while either because, again, I just don't – I have other things that I was doing. I used to do my other show on Wednesdays, but I haven't been doing them for a while. So I might take a look at it. I might watch it because it's been a while. And I've been following the storylines and stuff like that on the show every week. So I kind of maybe want to see one. I don't think did we do a watch along for the very first one? We might have. That was that the show we did the watch along for.
That's the one.
Yeah. So I might actually watch it. Maybe I'll do a little tweet party, kind of like I did that one time. Maybe I'll do some live tweeting while I watch it. So yeah, I think I'm definitely want to check it out. MCMG upgraded that match times 10. Yeah, dude, I love them. They're awesome. They're going to be great there. Regarding the Wyndham Rotunda AEW speculation, don't put that evil on. Hey, listen, Dan, we don't know. We just don't know. You know, if he still has, we don't know what he's got going on inside his head. We don't. No one does. And if they pretend to know, then they're idiots because they really just don't know. And we don't know. You know, does he still maybe look? Maybe the devil might be gone. But sometimes when the devil leaves, there's remnants. And he may still have a little bit left in the belly that he doesn't kind of like or sit well with WWE. So we just don't know, man. You know, he might prefer to go and give something else a try. So we don't know. We'll see. I prefer MCMG versus FTR. Yeah, you might get that at some point. I know a lot of people want that matchup. Did I miss the grievances? You did, Tazzy.
You did, buddy.
Johnny Bates again with a big donation. Thank you, Johnny Bates. OMG, who is that attacking new women's champion Toni Storm? Is it? Can it be? It's Kimberly. Yep. Maybe that's the big surprise. Oh God. It's funny. MCMG makes sense in the match, but never would have thunk it. Nice to see AEW and Impact back together. Yeah, they've worked in the past. You know, switched around some people, and why not?
Yeah,
why not? I was gonna say Braun might return to WWE. Yeah, he's not signed, so you never know. And look at EC3. Where is he? He's at All Out, right?
No, he was at NWA.
Oh, yes, he's at the pay-per-view. Is it tonight or was he at last night's?
I think he was. I don't know. Somebody have to let me know. I saw him do something with Gary Horn, who was on the show before. He gave a Control Your Narrative shirt to Camille.
Oh, that would be really interesting. Wow, I'd watch that. That'd be awesome if she showed up at Control Your Narrative. That'd be cool. Okay, so he was on last night. So yeah.
Right.
So I mean, he's working with it. That's what I said, man. You just never know. This is why wrestling is great right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you never know. So there's three huge things you've got coming up this week. You've got AEW All Out. You've got Worlds Collide, and you got Clash of the Castle in 2 nights. 3 huge wrestling shows in 2 nights. So, and then all this week, you got Raw tomorrow. You got NXT on Tuesday. You got AEW on Wednesday. You got Impact on Thursday. You got SmackDown and Rampage on Friday, and then more wrestling all weekend long. It's going to be a crazy weekend. Crazy. Okay, both for EC3 was last night, but he's in a match right now as well against Tom Latimer. Okay, Tazzy's joined us, of course. Welcome, Tazzy. Tazzy, we plugged your NXT watch along. for Worlds Collide. So,
Yep.
by the way, yep, I saw you just say yes. You're doing a Worlds Collide birthday bash. There you go. Make sure you go join Tazzy. So, yes, very good. Goldberg shows up. Oh, God. No. Okay. Moving on, Jeff.
All right, it's time to book a wrestler.
We've got to book a wrestler. All righty. Let's go. Who are we going to book? Who is the wrestler going to be this week? Let's
And we want chat participation in this.
Yes. Book a wrestler, everybody. Oh, it's Ruby Soho, like the song says. Ruby Soho. Obviously, we know she's been in a storyline with the whole Jericho Appreciation Society, that whole thing. What would you do with Ruby? How would you book Ruby Soho? Of course, coming over from WWE, we all know how she came into AEW. Pretty exciting to see her there. But how would you book Ruby Soho? Tell us in the chat. Jeff, I'll let you start. What would you do with Ruby Soho over in the AEW?
I'll be honest. When she first came into AEW, I really liked what they did with her. They put her right in the mix, which I really like. I'll say this: that women's division is pretty stacked. I mean, it's pretty. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does in the storyline with Sammy and God, I can't think of her name right now. Why can't I think of her name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
You know,
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of her name.
Ty Conti.
Ty Conti, yes.
Yeah, my brain is fried right now.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm interested in that, but I want to see her go on another little solo run, and I'd like to see her challenge for a title again. That's what I want to see. I think she's great. I mean, I think she's great as a performer. She's great on the microphone, and I would just continue to build her back up on a singles run, and have her eventually challenge for a title. I mean, not everybody can get a title shot, but I think talent wise, I think she fits the bill.
Yeah, listen, if Toni Storm wins the title, I would love to see her and Ruby. I think that would be a fantastic match. And yeah, Jeff, you're right. She's a great performer, and she's a really great wrestler. So I agree. How you build it, obviously she's got to get up the ladder. It seems as if it kind of looks as if Britt is she's kind of in a mode where she might be, she's helping some people now out a little bit to kind of work their way up the ladder. Have her in a feud with Britt. You really want to boost her up a little bit. Have her in a feud with Britt, and have her start from there, and then kind of work her way up to whoever the champion would be. Does Athena beat Jade Cargill? And if that's the case, again, having Ruby go up against Athena would be okay too. But yeah, you can. She's the kind of person you could really work into anything, and that's why they were working her into the factions and things like that, because she can work well with groups. She can work well in a tag team, and she can get into a title picture as well. Build her up as a heel. If Tony wins, have Ruby feud with her. Yeah, she's a good heel. Oh yeah, absolutely. She's a great heel. Yeah, she was a great heel in WWE. Ruby is a heel with ECW Raven type of character. Oh, okay. Conrad said that'd be cool. Yeah, I'd be down with that. Like a loner character with a little bit of mystery to it. Yeah, I'd be cool with that. How about this for a little twist? How about Ruby joining House of Black?
Oh, I mean, Julia Hart is doing great. I like what they're doing with her.
Yeah.
But yeah, she would be tremendous.
A woman's addition to House of Black that I'd put and have, yeah, I could see that. But yeah, she definitely does the heel role well. I would think that she's Ty Guevara now. Okay.
Or Ty Mello, yeah.
Ty Guevara. give her a punk rock type group. Oh, that'd be cool too. Yeah, play along the lines of with her what her spin of what her character is. Yeah, Ruby will get that TBS title from Athena or AEW from Storm. Her time is coming. Have her face Anna Jay at All Out. There's Jody. Hey Jody, what's up? Hope you're well. Yeah, but Ruby is very versatile. She's a veteran of the ring. She knows what she's doing. She's been around long enough, and you could really rely on her. I would have loved to have seen her against Thunder Rosa. Obviously, Thunder's out for however long, but I would have loved to have seen that match too. But she's awesome, and I think she should get some sort of a push towards some belt that they have over there. So, yeah. So there you go. That is our Book a Wrestler segment for the week. If you have any ideas of any wrestler you would like to see on Book a Wrestler, give us a shout. Let us know. Put it in the comments below the video tonight. Give us a DM. Shout it out on Twitter. Put hashtag Book a Wrestler and let us know if there's anybody that you would like to see on this segment on our next show. Let us know. All righty. Moving on.
All right, moving on to favorite moments. We got some favorite moments of the week that we're going to go over here.
Top 3 favorite moments of the week in wrestling. Play along, everyone. What were your top 3 moments of the week? You know, it's funny because now that I'm watching more wrestling, it's really hard to come up with these as much because you have more to choose from. Because I literally watch wrestling almost every single day because there's nothing else on for me to watch. I watched Raw, I watched NXT, I watched AEW, I watched Impact, and then of course I watched SmackDown last night. I did not see Rampage. I saw some of it, but I caught the end of it as I was watching a baseball game. But yeah, what were your moments of the week? Let us know in the chat. And Jeff, start with you. What was your number 3 moment of the week?
Well, I'm going to be that guy and be a little bit personal.
Okay.
My number 3 moment of the week was the show that I went to on Friday.
Nice.
It was really good. Good matches. Seeing the people that I got a chance to see, Booker T, Virgil, like I said, Cody Hall, Bushwhacker Luke. The International Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame is also here, and just hearing about some of the people that they were inducting was really cool, and I just thought it was a great time. And I know people probably want to. If you're not on Twitter, then you wouldn't have seen this, but I've got a couple photos here. If I can get that to show me and Booker T.
Booker T.
And let's see, I'm trying to go to the one with Virgil. Virgil was real cool. Me and Virgil. So, yep, that's my number 3.
There you go. My number 3. It's a very feel-good moment in wrestling. Is the return of Index. We not only saw Dexter Lumis on Monday night on Raw, but then we saw him come out. Poor Indy. Listen, that was written really well. And I don't know if Shawn Michaels wrote it, if Paul Heyman had something to do with it. But when she came out, she looked so disgruntled. Sitting on the ring apron and just talking to the crowd and saying she was trying to change things and nothing's going her way, and she was downtrodden and had the look on her face like, oh my God, you just felt so horrible for this girl. And she said, oh, I've tried to change and nothing's working, and and all of a sudden you hear Dexter Lumis's, and the crowd is going crazy. And she turns around and he crawls in the ring and she crawls in the ring. And then, boom, you get the big hug and the kiss and the fans lost it. That was fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. And you kind of get the feeling from that Indy is probably going to the main roster. Although he did, he gave her that little card that he probably painted. He's very good at art. And he gave her that little card saying, oh my gosh, what did it say now? Something like, something about him. I alluded to him not seeing her for a while. But it was fantastic. It was really, really a good moment. The crowd loved it. And obviously, whether maybe it won't be right away, but maybe it's an indication that maybe Indy is headed to the main roster, and maybe someday the fans on the main roster will get indexed. But it was really cool. It really was a really cool moment. So I always loved those two together. I thought they were really good, and it was a lot of fun when they would be in in NXT. So Index forever. Yes, I loved it. Alexa Bliss Gamer says the return of Index, return of Johnny Gargano, and Alexa and Asuka versus Dakota and Io. La Rebellion, Bestia 666, and Mecha Wolf winning the NWA tag titles last night. It's the talk of Lucha fans in Mexico right now. Jody says Drew's video package made me cry. Index number 3, Johnny Wrestling number 2, Will Ospreay. BRUV, said Johnny Bates. Let's see. Drew's video package ate this out. Loomis attacked Miz. Yes, he attacked him and kidnapped him on top of it. Where is Miz? We don't know. AEW Fight Forever gameplay. No Mercy style game. Yeah, that's exciting if it is. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. Johnny Gargano returns. And Sami Zayn and the Bloodline. Yeah, that's really, really good stuff, too. Drew's video package, Index reunion, Johnny Gargano's return. Indy did tweet yesterday it was the happiest day of her life, although she said it wasn't wrestling related. Motor City Machine Guns and All Out. I was going to say Indy and Loomis as well. Gargano. I love how they used storyline with Cruz and Waller and Dexter arrested from seeing Indy on NXT. Yeah, the cops were waiting for him outside. Yes. Yeah, he was there waiting for him right outside the building and took him away. All right, Jeff, man, what's your number 2?
All right, man. Number 2 for me is, I think I'm going to go with the Motor City Machine Guns getting some shine outside of Impact Wrestling.
Yep.
I think that's pretty freaking awesome.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's my number 2.
I don't know what my number 2 is. I got some goofy ones this week. I'm in a goofy mood. Of all the things I watched, you'd think I could pick them. My number 2 is Killer Kelly being an absolute creeper. An absolute creeper. I lost it. I love that. She is creeping around behind the fireplace. She's hiding, and then she's stalking Tasha Steele. She's coming over, and they're not seeing her. And I'm sitting there doing the watch, and I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna grab her. And she did. And I'm like, that was fantastic. I see. I'm a mark for stuff like that. I love goofy stuff that happens backstage. I always did. And you know why? I grew up on it. When you watch the stuff in the 80s in WWF, this is what they did. They did a lot of stuff backstage, and I love it. I love that stuff. I really do. I think it's fantastic. And the way she did that, and just how stealthy she was being, and they weren't really paying attention to her. She's kind of out of the way. You just saw her head. And then all of a sudden she could see it. I was like, yes, this is amazing. That was awesome. I am really, really in on that character. I think she's great. She's almost like you remember the 80s movies? If you watch some of the 80s movies like Fatal Attraction or what were the ones with, oh my God, now I don't remember. The ones with Sharon Stone. Any Sharon Stone movie really from the 80s? Basic Instinct, like all that stuff. Like that's what she comes off to me as being, like one of those intellectual creepers with yeah, I love her. I think she's fantastic. And that was, I love that moment. It was silly. It was goofy, but I loved it. I thought it was wonderful. I loved it. Control Your Narrative invaded NWA?
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh. So Braun and all them are there? Damn, that's cool. Wow. Dan, you're watching NWA?
Really?
Big man, I'm proud of you. Good for you. That's awesome.
That's great. Big
Good
man.
for you, dude. Or he's just reading it. He could be reading it. That's all right though. Either way. Yes, Killer Kelly's. Yeah. Oh God. She's. Oh my God. I love that. I
Did you
really.
see the picture that Jay posted of her and their son?
No,
She
I did not.
posed with Josh's son.
Oh, that's it. That's his. She's his son's favorite wrestler. I think.
Mhm.
I think he came out and said that, which that's tremendous too. That's awesome. But yeah, she's working her way very quickly up the list of my favorite female wrestlers. So, and I'm hoping, oh my gosh, I'm hoping I get to see her in Bound for Glory, and I'm hoping she does signings there. Oh, dude, she's so cool. I'm gonna tell her to her face. If I see her, I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna be like, I love you creeping up on Tasha's thigh. I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna say I announced it on my show, and I thought it was one of the greatest moments of the week. So, all right. 2 Motor City Machine Guns against Shine underrated tag team legendary Death Triangle versus United Empire Trios match. Main event, AEW Dynamite is a really good match. Fantastic in a rare AAA versus New Japan talent matchup. Yeah. James Storm won the OVD World title last night. Okay. Yeah. Don't forget where Dexter got arrested. Yes. She's a sexy creeper. Oh, man. Johnny back. Kenny Omega and CM Punk lost fast. Killer Kelly is Impact's Dexter Lumis. Yeah, she is. CYN versus NWA. Oh, geez. It's called Meat Sauce Madness on your phone, says Chris. Gable versus Owens. Owens versus Gable and Drew promo packaged. Impact and Motor City Machine Guns. You'll have to check it out. No, Titan wasn't there. Okay, so Braun wasn't there. Okay. Gunther and Sheamus face off. Yeah, that was good too. Yeah, very good. All right, Jeff, what's your number 1, dude?
All right, man.
I'm kind of thinking I know what it is.
Yeah, I think I don't know if we both have the same number 1.
We might. Yeah.
We might. So my number 1 is seeing Johnny Gargano.
Yep.
In a WWE ring.
It's mine too.
Back in a wrestling ring, let me say. Mm-hmm. I would have been happy if he had shown up in AEW. I would have been happy if he showed up in Impact or anywhere else, New Japan. But I'm happy to see him. Yeah, happy to see him.
Yeah, that's without a doubt, that's mine too. It was, like I said, at any time you can shock the world on a wrestling match or in wrestling. Anytime you can shock the world in wrestling today, it's an awesome thing, and that was a really awesome thing that they were able to do. And just seeing Johnny Gargano back was awesome. So that's my number 1 moment too. I mean, that was a pretty easy one. Jesse messaged me. Jesse's putting her son to bed, I think. So, well, we're not going to be staying on too much later to answer your question, Jesse. I don't know if you're still doing your stuff. She said I had to step away, take a call that's done, but I've also been trying to get my baby
earlier. Yeah, that was earlier.
Okay. Oh, okay. Camille just retained the title against Max the Impaler. 2 successful title defenses in 2 nights. Awesome. So Camille still has the title. That's very cool. Index reunion cross promo. Cross promo was good. Johnny Gargano returns. Nathan Sam says Insider Show today was fire. Thank you very much. Johnny's return on Raw. Cross's promo on SmackDown was fire. So eerie. It felt like I was watching a movie. Edge versus how about Edge and Beth? Yeah, another great moment. Yep. Great kid. Beth was talking about that a little bit on Busted Open, saying that she kind of feels as if this might be Edge's retirement tour, that it might be the last year for Edge, because she's saying that they kind of both are ready to move on, and take care of their kids and stuff like that. So just keep your eye out, because this might be, and you know what? I'm going in Raw in November, so maybe I'll get a chance to see Edge, which will be cool, because it might be the last time that I would see him live. So very cool. All right. Well, there you go. There's our top 3 moments of the week. And we'll start going over some stuff. Jesse is in the chat. So, Jesse, you're on. And we're going to get out of here because it is getting late. We had a lot to cover tonight. So let's get into that, shall we? And it's Jesse Callan's time to end the show with a little comedy, a little comedic stuff. And we'll just go over what we're doing. So obviously tomorrow, if Jody's feeling okay, it'll be Abby's Window at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They'll talk about all things Wyndham tomorrow and whether or not they think that Wyndham will be back. Will he return at Clash of the Castle? I'm sure that Jeff and Jody will have that and more to discuss tomorrow on the show at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, we'll be back. Jeff and I will on Thursday for Impact Wrestling, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will start, and we will go all the way to the end, and afterwards we'll review the show. No ATI except for pay-per-view weeks. So there won't be there's no pay-per-view this week, so there will not be an ATI. We'll just do the review after the show ends. Nothing Friday, Clash of the Castle. Make sure you come out and check us out for Clash of the Castle on Saturday. That will be Jeff, and that will be Jody said it's happening. I'll be there. Very cool. So make sure you join Jeff and Jody, of course, and Tazzy if he can make it. I don't know Tazzy's schedule. Tazzy, if you're still in the chat, let us know. But it will definitely be Jeff and Jody doing Clash of the Castle on Saturday, so make sure you join them. And Tazzy hopefully will be there too, so make sure you join them. I'll get the timeout for you guys when it'll be because they'll be doing predictions before the show. And then next Sunday, nothing because there's too much going on. You got the NXT thing on Sunday, and then you got AEW going on Sunday. So too much going on. We'd hardly have any people in our show, so it wouldn't make sense of that. So if they're fast ones, Jesse, because Jeff's got to get to bed. Jeff's got work in the morning. I do not. I'm off, but Jeff's got to get to bed. So make them fast ones. Just keep them going, and we get through them quickly. And yeah, okay, that's fine. But just keep them going so we can get Jeff out of here and go to bed. Corgan just announced NWA will be back at the Chase for NWA 75 next year. Nice. Very cool. Hope it was good. Hope you enjoyed it. Here we go. She's starting right away. Number 1. I heard there were a bunch of break-ins over at the car park. That is wrong on so many levels. All right. Good start. Good start, Jesse. Yeah, good start. I like it. I snorted a little. I liked it so much. Number 2, I failed math so many times at school I can't even count. She's off to a good start here. Off to a good start. Very cool. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure you please hit a like on our stream for us as well. And make sure you hit the notifications button if you want to be notified about when we have future content. Never trust atoms. They make up everything. These are nice little quick ones too, Jesse. Nice little quick. We're going to go dark tonight, by the way. Uh-oh. Okay. She's getting the dark ones. She's starting off with the lighter fare. And then it's going to turn darker. So it just, here we go. It's going to get dark. It's going to get dark. It's going to get dark. So let's go. Here we go. Number 4. I used to have a handle on life, but then it broke. All right. Main event time. Trevor Murdoch versus Tyrus for the NWA title. I remember Tyrus. I remember him. Wow, that's still going on. It's going late.
That is going late.
It's going late. Number 5. My father has schizophrenia, but he's good people.
Wow.
We just took a dark turn, ladies and gentlemen.
It just got dark.
We just took a dark turn.
It got dark. And I'm afraid to ask if it gets any darker.
I'm a little nervous now myself. Yes. Yeah. I'm a little nervous now too where this is going. Yep.
Let's see how dark this is.
I'm a little nervous where we're going now. We'll see. I'm a little nervous. Number 6. My wife just found out I replaced our bed with a trampoline. She hit the ceiling. Okay. All right. Well, we went dark and then we went a little light.
We're back.
We're back now. James said, not that late. It's just gone past 4.
Oh gosh,
I don't know how you do it.
I
do not know how you do it.
Yeah.
If I stay up any more past like 2, I'm dead. Like I can't. And
2?
Yeah, 2 in the morning. Like if 1 o'clock, well, no, I shouldn't even say that. Probably 1:20, 1:30 is now my latest. I used to be able to do that no problem. The easiest time to add insult to injury is when you're signing someone's cast. That's very true. That's very true. Oh man. Oh yeah, I don't know how you do it. I used to do it a lot when I get a good video game, like a good video game that was the Final Fantasy games. Oh man, I'd stay up all night playing those. There'd be a lot of times I'd be up till the sun would come up.
Yeah,
and I can't do it anymore. Nope. My body's like, nope, you ain't doing that no more. That was 7, said Jesse. Oops.
Y'all are talking about 2. I
Alicia
can barely.
says, I'm running on auto.
That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah. Wrestling doesn't even start till 1 a.m. Yeah, that's true. Most people are shocked when they find out how bad I am as an electrician. These are pretty good, actually.
They're good.
They're pretty entertaining, yeah. Oh, God. That's great. That's awesome. So we're on 8. We got a couple more. But yeah, make sure that you join them for Abby's tomorrow. Number 9, just burned 2,000 calories. That's the last time I leave brownies in the oven while I nap. Oh man,
That's good.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Oh my gosh. Gotta get a laugh in, right?
Yeah.
Gotta get a laugh in. Oh. You gotta do Jeremy joke. Well, you gotta do Jeremy joke. What's Jeremy joke? Oh, Jeremy's
joke.
What did Braun tell Tony Khan when he gave him control? I'm not finished. What? Wait, what did Braun tell Tony Khan when he gave him control? I'm not finished this contract. I'm not finished this. I don't get it. It might be too late. It might be too intellectual for me, and I'm just getting tired, and I just didn't get it. See, where are you? Says James Chadwick.
Hey, where's the heckling section?
The heckler's not here. He's probably fallen asleep. Number 10. This is a long one. My therapist told me that a great way to let go of your anger is to write letters to people you hate and then burn them. I did that, and I feel much better, but I'm wondering, do I keep the letters? Wow. 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 Oh, Jesse changed it. Oh, your name is Callan Corner now. I didn't even realize that. Was it always that way?
Yeah.
Was her name always called? Oh my God, Jesse! I'm losing it. I'm losing. I didn't realize. I thought you had your name as Jesse Callan. I didn't realize. What? My God, how long ago did you change it? What, like 3 years? And I just noticed it now. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I don't know. C's probably sleeping. I wouldn't doubt he's falling asleep. I mean, he did say that Jesse jokes put him to sleep. So,
I mean, or this could be a sign of approval by him.
There it is.
Uh-oh.
What's sleep? My mom taught me if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. But as you insist, Jesse, the funniest thing about your jokes is that Joe hasn't heard them in 354 years. And there it is. The heckler is back. A guy with a stutter died in prison before he could finish his sentence.
Wow. As a former stutterer, I don't take offense to that at all. I actually think that's funny. I worked hard to get rid of it, but that's pretty funny. I like how C quoted the if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. They're very nice. See, that's twice that got put in tonight, and both times
Well, there you go. That worked. We got two more, I believe. The Coog's like, damn. Oh my gosh. I have another page that's called Jesse Callan, but I haven't been in there with that one. See, I just didn't notice. It is what it is.
We always call you Jesse.
It is what it is. It is what it is. That's what happens when you turn 354. You start to lose some things. Number 12. Why don't cannibals eat clowns? They taste funny. Oh, man. Oh. Big Dan's getting in the act. Did you hear about the death row breakfast? At the end of the meal, you get the juice. Wow. You get the juice. Oh my gosh. After this, I'm going to go dumb down and watch a Stallone movie.
There you go.
Number 13. Lucky number 13, which, by the way, I don't know if any of you heard the news. Joe will be at a new Friday the 13th film in 2023. They are doing a new Friday the 13th film, and I will be there opening night to see it. Guaranteed. I'm so happy that I'm getting to see another one before I'm not on this earth anymore. Number 13, what does a liar do after he dies? He lies still.
We got a bonus joke from
He did. Why did Mozart kill all of his chickens? When he asked them who the best composer was, they all replied, "Bok, bok, bok." That's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's a good one. Oh my God. Joe's going to Mars. Joe's going somewhere. It's late. It's past my bedtime probably, and yeah. Crap, I just burned my pizza. Well, see, that's what happens, Jesse, when you have 13 jokes.
That's no joke.
You burn your pizza, and that, it's not.
That's
joke.
no joking matter.
Scrape the burnt part off the bottom of the crust. You're good. Well, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. A little bit of a longer show tonight, but we had a ton of stuff to cover. Really, really appreciate you coming out. Thank you, Jesse, for all the jokes. Thank you for the other people who put jokes in as well. Jody, thank you for coming. I know you had a rough day. But join Jody and Jeff for tomorrow for Abby's Window at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's another one, quick one. Never break someone's heart. They only have one. Break their bones instead. They have 206. That's a nurse joke, isn't it? I totally forgot about it and overcooked it. Hospital joke. Jody, that's definitely a hospital joke. All right. So make sure you join Jody and Jeff tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jody might have that grievance to talk about that she was going to talk about tonight. So make sure you join them for that. There it is, the graphics up on the screen. 6 p.m. tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. Join them for that, please. And then Jeff and I will be back on Thursday for Impact Wrestling at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be there for the watch along for that. We'll stick around a little after and go over the show and do a review. And then that's it really for us for this week, because there's a lot of stuff. Oh, no. Clash of the Castle is Saturday. That's it for me. Clash of the Castle is Saturday. That will be Jeff and Jody and possibly Tazi as well. So make sure I'll get the times out for that for you guys to join them for that. Enjoy the wrestling this week, guys. It's going to be a really fun week. There is so much going on. So get out there and enjoy it. Stay away from the dirt sheets. Don't spoil yourself the stuff for yourself. You'll enjoy it so much more. I guarantee that you will. I guarantee that you will. Thank you again, Johnny Bates. That's awesome. You're awesome. One more for the road. Remember, people, hashtag Kimberly Supremacy. On that note, we're done. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy all the wrestling this week. And hopefully we will see you all again for our next show, which is Abby's Window tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Please, please, please be kind to one another. Remember what Jeff said. Be kind to one another. And hopefully we will see you all again soon. Talk to you all later. Have a great night. Good night, everyone.